Hello, good afternoon. It's Sunday. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Loki would like to personally welcome each and every one of you. Hey, do not
Yay!
unthread my machine. Come have snackies over here. Do it over here where your fans can see you. There you go.
I'll save my kvetching for when people get in here.
Right, we gotta reach quorum. It's just Loki wouldn't let me. He's literally been under the couch, and I gave him a dose of his kitty meds because he's been so anxious and uncomfortable today.
Aww.
We can't have that. Yep, you make sure I don't want any kitty snacks on my fabric. Not that we're selling with fancy fabric today. Okay, that's it. You want to sit on the chair with my stuff? No. Okay, just don't close out of this. Here, let me move the cursor so you can't X out of the stream on us, because we can't be having none of that.
Oh, cats are great for that.
I know they did it to me during a office thing the other day. It's a good thing that individual was like, it's a-okay. Yeah, you tell Brunhilde how much you love her. You tell her. I know. How's everybody doing? What are you sipping on? What are you working on?
I'm sipping on coffee and water, and I was gonna make like another Lucy's coat, but I weirdly made us like a Star Trek robe.
Okay.
And then I made the Spock headband.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, I actually went off. And this week, I may or may not finally finish my patch. And for anyone who knows where this shirt came from, I went crazy at Walmart yesterday.
Hello, Jolly. Oh, dear. Okay, yes, you own the sewing machine. It's yours. Get your cheeks stink all over there. Yes.
And I really and I know this sounds crazy, but I did not go shopping for a sewing machine this week.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'll wait a few more minutes before we. Oh my god, that picture of that one I saw. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm trying not to go back there. I'm trying not to go back near that place because I know see, but I'm one of those people. I'm not going to pay $200 or $300 for that sewing machine.
Yeah.
And where I live, people ask crazy prices. So, if the price is not on it, I can't afford it.
Right.
That's old school. Like if you don't know what it is, if you have to ask it, then you can't afford it. I kind of live by that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Except for fabric.
Oh, well, there's that. I stopped myself because there's that one wholesale dealer out of Europe who it's like a €600 minimum order plus whatever much that would cost to ship. I was like, I don't know. I no, the fabric, it must be amazing, but no, can't do that.
What does €600 equal out to dollars?
Oh, seven-ish, like 750 maybe. I don't know. I'm sure our fact checkers will show up and correct us, which is a-okay. Oh, good, and we are live on the Rumbles.
Oh,
Wait. Okay, what? So, as the thumbnail, are we 5 minutes in? Well, there's folks here. Let's see here. No, medical, legal, financial, spiritual, non-spiritual, election fornication. There's no advice here. I do have some affiliate links in the downstairs areas, and I put in links for at least people's YouTube channels because I'm trying to be a good YouTuber or a good host over. And let's see here, what else? Don't be mean, don't WSIP. Have fun. Let the stitching and the bitching commence. I'm working back on my pirate poofy pants this week because I've come so far.
Oh, those are awesome.
Here is one. No, here's one leg. So I cut the strips, hemmed the strips, gathered the strips. These strips need to be sewn down, make a couple more strips because I want a little bit more at the other end. And let's see here. So, and I also just, I think the other leg, okay, I'm breaking stuff around here in my stream. Um, I don't feel like I have enough panes yet, so I'm
Oh, that
going
looks awesome, though.
to make some more, sew some more piping so I can make some more stuff. So, and then I think because these pants don't have enough for my 3 pounds of sequins haul, I think I've got some colors and stuff that would look cute. We got these little,
Ooh.
these are tiny little flowers. We've got
How time consuming is putting those on?
that easily could be the most time consuming 100 hours, depending on how many designs we are gonna do.
Because I'll tell you, like, I watch a lot of stuff and they're like, oh, I spent 6 hours putting stones on this jacket. And I'm like, you what? That's great.
Yes, yeah, the gluey, the extra, but it just, if I'm gonna be over the top on this project, might as well be extra over the top.
No, I know what you're saying. That's why I made the headband. I've been watching this really militant channel called Earn Your Leisure. It's basically like the offshoot of like Nation of Islam, but it makes me laugh because they've turned it into like this guy's doing push-ups on screen and he's like, have respect for yourself. And it's like who cannot see through this? But they've changed their style and they dress like ninjas.
Oh, funny.
And I kind of dig it. So I made a headband, but then it turned my robe, it completely turned into like this Star Trek thing.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of a fusion. And I put this I have all these weird patches. My mom is an Amazon addict, so she'll like send me the strangest patches. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw this on my headband.
Cute.
And I got this from my mom. So any of the like karma patches or suns or moons or any of that, I got these for Christmas. That's
Aw,
she
I know.
tries.
They're you make them work. Am I putting French seams on this gathered ribbon that's just details? Yes. Why? Why not?
Why
I want
not?
this costume to last. And I didn't talk about. I don't think we've seen this. I showed this melon colored fabric. It was marked at $8.50 at the Goodwill, and then it happened to be 50% off. And yeah,
$8.50 for the entire roll.
yes,
I'm so
and I only paid
jealous.
4.50 for it.
How come that never happens around here? Like I the most that I've ever purchased is like 2 yards or 3 yards, but it's always like a scrap.
I actually, you know what? I was thinking about this the other day with the other fabric shop. I wonder if it has something to do with being in a relatively small community with a healthy theater scene and
Oh, you know what?
costume shop seconds. But that's
My
a guess.
excuse- my brain totally just went because there's a bunch of theater houses around here.
Right, so go to the thrift stores in those neighborhoods. You might have better luck.
I'm gonna go like straight to the owners and be like, "Do you have any leftover fabric?"
Do you have a skirt? Right? Do you have scrap?
Hey,
Oh,
Alibaba!
whoa, whoa.
I no longer feel that it's just Phoenix and I in here having a long distance phone call.
Right, in public for the whole world to see. Oh, do I want to sew those ones I have pinned down, or do I want to make some piping first? Let's get rid of pins first.
I know I haven't decided whether I want to because I need to finish the rope. Let me see if I can get my big my
Oh,
professional camera angle, my CCTV going.
right. Yeah, I can't.
Your service is just a little bit different than StreamYard's, but it's all the
Um,
same.
oh, that one's fun. Should we be in stripes?
Let's see, which one is that? Oh, there we go. Oh, that's cool. You can kind of see my rope. If it sounds like I'm having death metal band practice in my house, it's because my son just got off of his 4-day ban on Oculus.
Oh, God.
And he won't tell me what he got banned for. And for anyone
Oh,
keeping
Oculus banned him. It wasn't you putting him in trouble for poor behavior.
no,
Oh,
because all of these things have moral clauses now. Like, I haven't said it in a while. I don't think I've ever told you, Phoenix. Isaiah has a lifetime ban on the PlayStation.
I think you did tell
They,
me. I'm
but
just like
I
hysterical.
feel like if you're gonna have a social credit score for children, you should at least give me my money back. Do you know how much money I spent on
Right.
Fortnite on
Yeah.
freaking, like
Yeah. That is a lot. Where's my stabby cushion? Of course. Oh, under the fabric we're sewing, because why would it be anywhere useful?
so my mom said I look like a Moroccan king or something when I wore that, but like I like it. I really like it.
Just rock it. It's kind of you're just living your Eddie Murphy coming to America dream.
I actually, a lot of the hate mail I received was from people saying that that's not my culture. A lot of people, like in Africa and stuff. Well, it's my assumption that it's in Africa. That's my
Yeah,
assumption.
I think people have to stop making assumptions because they're starting to make guesses. Oh, okay. So here's I got a question for the chats. So I was thinking I was going to put some of the sequins down the center of the gathered strips to hide where I've run the gathering and now where I'm sewing it to attach it. So I was going to put some bedangles there. But where's the example? The paint one. Okay. Do you know where your stuff? What do you know where your children are? It's very um. So I think these panes are going to be, as you can maybe tell, I alternated. So they're going to start one color green, the other side will start purple, and then there'll be a twist in it so it's offset. Do I know this is completely not the right time? Oh, I want to add a strip of sequins down each side of the painting pieces.
Okay, so I'm gonna say yeah, even though I know the painstaking work that it's gonna take.
Well, that and if I knew that if I thought about wanting to do it, I probably will take the time to sew the sequins on the unstitched ones first while they're flat so I can hide all the yuckies instead of having to do it double sided later. Okay, I guess that means I know what I'm working on for the next little while. Then we'll have to. Okay. Alright, get to sewing. This isn't going to sew itself, kid.
I know. I'm just finally gonna put that patch on. My, it's been a week and I still haven't put the patch on my battle vest.
Well, you know, you had. They were like, I can't just be sitting around in my new chair, bitch, and I should probably have something to stitch to.
I think that's what it is too, is that this chair is so comfortable, it makes me not want to get up. And every time I get up, I'm like, oh, old man, because I'm so comfortable in this chair.
Oh yes, adding the sequence might be even more trouble in that round tube. I yeah, I know I can do it. It's just going to be more fiddly. I think I would act or I can do the unattached sequin those ones and then intermix the sequined panes with the unsequined panes so that it doesn't get too heavy with all the sequins. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. And there's always super glue. Yes, I'm afraid
Because like I want to rhinestone the GS on my on my Godless Sewing cape, but I'm like, do I have the patience for that?
That's actually, I was thinking of hot glue, and that's not going to work. This whole thing, this is like a, I would melt. It's all synthetic except for the, I think I might have some cotton in there. I do have some E6000, and I could just do white rhinestones.
Oh, I got to get up from my upholstery thread. I have a question now. What adhesive can I use on pleather? Or no, I'm sorry. It's I don't know if that one's pleather or fake vinyl
I think the E6000 works on like everything.
because
It's what I,
it's like wannabe leather.
yeah, because that's the one I see all the dance wear costumers, gymnast, leotard makers use. Oh, I could do sequins on the flat ones and then do, or sew sequins on the ones that are not attached and then glue rhinestones onto the ones that are attached. Ellie, what have you done to me? This costume, I keep thinking this costume has got enough ornamentation, and then I'm like, what?
To
But
be
I've got a
fair,
scene to finish that something that looks not nice. How do I make it look pretty?
I wouldn't exist if it wasn't for like super glue and duct tape made me the man I am today. Something doesn't work. Oh, get the duct tape.
Right. And did I measure when I laid out these strips? Absolutely not. I'm like, what looks pretty? E6000 is nice and pliable, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's, it has a nice movement, which is why they get away with using it on like gymnastics leotards and things that need to be super flexible. Man,
Ballet tights are the thickest that are out there, I think.
oh, I love my dance tights.
And the only reason I know that is because drag queens constantly talk about it.
Yeah,
See how long that is.
but old fashioned, like, yeah, daily wear nylons, why do they make them so crappy? And
I that I this may be shocking to you, but I've never worn nylons before.
yeah, save yourself. Well, you've worn leather bike stuff. It's basically the same thing,
Okay.
but like tighter.
I just like one of the reasons I don't wear leather as much in the heat is because it doesn't breathe
No,
whatsoever.
you just, and you have to like peel yourself out of it.
Oh, what did I do with it? Oh, there it is. Okay, good. Where I live, you become a sticky mess if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, right.
Like right now, Alexa, what's the temperature right now?
Right now, it's 101 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's 101.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I was thinking about doing this in my closet and I've been cleaning, and all I did was find a bunch of really cool stuff. I found another monitor and I ended up finding a bunch of really cool shirts and doing nothing productive.
Well, you found stuff that was productive, because first part about knowing that you've got a problem with hoarding is starting to admitting it and starting to look through what you've got.
Well, I'm trying to I'm in this weird phase where I'm getting rid of things that I don't use, or if it's broken, like I'm gonna stop hoarding trash.
Yes, that's a good general first rule.
Because like even up at the shop, like I have what's called the Pope Mobile. It's an old Ford concept car. It's an EV car. I'll take a picture of it. Problem is, it takes 9 car batteries.
Oh my god.
And it was supposed to be fuel efficient, but really it just takes 9 car batteries, which kills the environment. Just
Yeah, I'm
so the
sure,
Pope.
Ellie, you could not handle those types of temps. Though it, yeah, above 95, even if it's like only 12% humidity, it does.
Alibaba, before the stream started, I was literally outside in a kiddie pool. I wore sunscreen though, because I'm not crazy or that crazy.
Right.
It doesn't feel like after like hold on, I have a needle in my mouth. After like it kind of all feels the same after 100.
It does, yeah.
I don't feel the difference when they, except for the one time I was in Phoenix and I was coming home from Phoenix and it was 115. I felt that.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 112, 115 range, like that has a different type of hellish characteristic to it that I just can't explain.
But like people live in Nevada, people live in Phoenix.
Yeah,
I
they
live
do,
in
but
Mesa.
they don't go outside. They run
Not
out.
until 7:30 at night.
Their cars are probably under car parks. They leave from their house onto an underground car park. Like, oh, this
I'm
is
biased because I'm a desert dweller, but I can see like yeah, all the news all the time. They're like someone passed away in their house or like yeah, it's
yeah.
sad.
Oh, kiddie pool. I would try crawling into the freezer or the fridge. That I saw a video of some cat who was must have been super hot, like crawled themselves into the fridge and was just laying in between the food, and their human was like, "You got to get out," and the cat was like, "Nah, bro, you're gonna leave me here.
That's like
I'm
Odin.
comfortable."
I've been trying to lure Odin in the house, and
Yeah,
someone I know tried the other day because they're gonna take it Odin to the vet, but
yeah.
Odin is like, no, I'm a rebel, Dottie. I'm an outside cat.
You can
But
still be an outside cat, but you got to get the big snip, kid.
she just lays out on my patio. I put giant bowls of ice water out there,
Yeah, that's good because
but it's like I'm like looking out the back window for my cat. She's driving me crazy right now.
yeah. Oh man.
And I have a bunch of honeysuckle and grapes, and she like lives underneath them.
Yep, because it's cool and shady.
I'm kind of jealous of Odin. Like, I want to go live in the forest. I want to not pay taxes and
Minor
like,
child or have to deal with parenting.
oh no, Isaiah would gladly come outside with me and be feral. Oh man,
What did I do here?
I'm the sad guy who put the kiddie pool on the other side of the house because I didn't want to disrupt my cat though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it felt good to get out there in the sun though, because I'm always stuck in the office or like
Yeah, somewhere inside.
5 years ago or 6 years ago, I bought a kiddie pool for Isaiah and he outgrew it. If you are 5'9" or shorter, I could lay in there. It's the exact same size as I am. So I love that thing. And it's like a deprivation tank because you fill it halfway and you lay in it, you
yeah.
know? Oh, I love it. I love that stupid thing.
Oh man. So maybe next week I'll try out this E6000 live on stream and we'll see if I don't gas myself with rhinestone glue.
I think that's the next thing I'm going to compulsively order is rhinestones. I want to finish my cape, but I don't want to ruin it. Because
Okay.
I cut out the shapes. It was the first time
Right.
where I actually like I was trying to mirror a Walter Mercado cape, but Walter
Mm-hmm.
Mercado was Senor Rhinestones. So I have to finish the process.
Yeah. It's gonna be way faster than trying to hand sew them on. They're nice to cool off in kiddie pools. Yeah, they are.
I swear by mine, I'm not even playing. Like people, I see all these YouTubers. They're like fronting at these clubhouses and stuff. Like you would laugh at me if you saw my grown arse on the side of my house with a J hanging out of a kiddie pool with one arm. Like,
Right, because you can't do that at the big the golf course pools at the clubhouse.
oh my gosh, my grandmother was a part of this really bougie association that had a swim club and everything. I felt uncomfortable going there, and I grew up in that neighborhood. They were just, it's literally the kind of people that wear sweaters over there. Like, they still wear sweaters, like with the arms tied, you know?
Yes, yeah, that's a level. Yeah, and I just don't care for that old money preppy aesthetic either.
Do you know what's really funny? You'd say that I was watching this thing about old, like young money and old money, and this kid in the UK. There's only like 70 something like lords or something less of the people who own the manors, and there's this family who like they have an average they have average jobs, average lives, but they inherited because they're lords, they're the 75th in line, they inherited these giant mansions. And they're walking through these dilapidated mansions with the wallpaper peeling off, and he's like, "Oh, it just needs a coat of paint."
Right. Those are money. They're like, it's amazing, but it makes sense why they all are like open to the public and have to do paid tours just because the upkeep and the maintenance on those things on so many of them are just a nightmare.
That's the like my grandmother had a giant house, and everyone asked me why I didn't move into her house. She had a 7-bedroom house.
Right. Who do you don't need that much space to clutter.
I couldn't afford, like, honestly, if you really think about it, like her air conditioning bill during the summer would be like people's house payments, you know.
Right. Yep. And the property taxes on that much real estate. Yeah, that would.
And like after a while, because it was my grandparents that lived there, they had this giant house. You know, people tried to live there, but my grandmother was like, "You can't live here. We're retired."
I'm not living my retirement as a landlady.
But you end up having a museum. Like I have her
Yep.
whole museum in my storage unit. She had a pink room,
She was one
and
of those. Oh, yeah.
she had a pink bathroom too.
Of course, because come on.
I felt like when I redid the house, I felt like it was blasphemy because I repainted the pink bathroom.
Right, but it needed to be something sellable.
It did. It did.
Oh, Ellie, the upkeep is what kills them in the end. Tough to keep up with it. Yeah, it really is. That's the
It was
lament.
interesting though, because this arrogant child was going to inherit the house, and there was nothing anyone can do. And he was just this arrogant, like he's like, I really don't have to do anything in my life. I'm going to inherit a $30 million house.
Right, with expenses of 100 million a year.
But he never has to question where he's going to live. And like the people at my job, they live longer because they don't stress out. Okay. And I have this
Yeah.
weird crackpot theory that we all die at a certain age because we stress like 50% of our life. We're just stressing like, oh, how am I going to do this? Or, oh, I hope this works out. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just jealous of that kid.
Right.
Let's be real. You know what? My cousin who, uh, for the lack of better terms, was just a complete and utter jailbird. My uncle gave him a business, and every time I talk trash, it's pure jealousy.
Yeah.
But that was his inheritance.
Right. He.
I wish I could be a total delinquent my whole life and inherit stuff. Oh wait, but let's be real. Like I'm not inheriting a 30 awesome Alibaba awesome.
Okay.
I'm not inheriting a $30 million house.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, I would
No.
sell it and move to Morocco so fast. If you, let's say, because they do like blood testing, let's say that you found out that you were the long lost relative of yada yada Duke of blah blah blah, and you inherited a $30 million estate, would you keep it?
At least for a while, because when's the yes? I would need some time to just enjoy it.
I would at least want to like rollerblade through the entire house.
Yeah, I want to sleep in every gosh darn room in that house.
You know, it's so funny you'd say that. I did that at my grandma's house on the final tour before. Like, I slept in every room in that giant house.
There's just yeah.
Oh.
Thread.
So the moral of the story is if you inherit a giant house, run. No, it's some people have the money to keep up, some people don't. Like even
Right.
my light bill is crazy. That's why there's certain lights I don't even have on right now because it's just like a sauna in here.
I know I didn't really want to have to turn the overhead light on, but
That's why my
um,
flags don't seem to be as lit up as normal.
I oh my gosh, my favorite camera tripod that I got cheap at the Goodwill broke, and I liked it because I have the dummy battery for my nice camera, but because the cord comes out to go to the wall, you can't close the battery port. But my other tripod, the base is so big that the door has to be closed, so I can only use
Oh
my
yeah.
my rechargeable batteries, and I don't get 4 hours of battery time on a battery to make it through a stream.
I don't think they're ever as advertised. Oh, excuse me.
So I don't know.
Oh yeah, I was gonna put this on here, but I have too much crud on my desk. Let me close my drawer. Oh, old man.
Oh, did I tell the silly story about me buying a new light bulb for my 101?
I don't think so. No,
Okay.
you haven't.
All right. So I was like, because the light bulb was a little twitchy, so I was like, well, maybe I should get a new light bulb because who knows how long this one's been in here. So I ordered an LED one. Well, wouldn't it probably would have been smart to have actually like pulled out the light bulb to know whether it was a push in or a screw in? Who just assumed that it would be a screw in and it's a push in? This
Oh.
kid, he was like, "You didn't look," and I was like, "No, I just thought."
Okay, so don't feel bad. This room is filled with sewing parts that I ordered and I did not need. So don't feel, or they didn't fit. So don't feel bad.
I, I tried, but it was good. So tomorrow or sometime this week, I will have two new
I
pushy any light bulbs instead of
was
the
about to
screw
say,
one.
I guarantee you, you'll never make that mistake twice,
No,
ever again.
but I should check my Kenmore because I don't know what type of light bulb it has, and I don't think that light bulb has been changed in 20 years. So maybe I'll just switch it out for an LED if.
You know, I think about that all the time. Like on the white rotary that I just got, like that's from 1927. Okay, the light works, but when's the last time the bulb was replaced?
Right?
Like, what's the life? Because those things they have a certain amount of life, you know.
Yeah,
Especially like on my old singers, the lights still work. Like I have ones that are over 100 years old, you know.
yeah. I mean, it's probably like any light bulb. Like how often it gets turned on is gonna affect it. But welcome back, welcome back. We are on Gathering Strip 2 of however many I feel like.
And I'm sewing this finally. I'm finally getting my Shasta together.
Good, good. I know, and I felt so fancy. I like rolled hem each of these strips, the sides of it. Then I did the gathering. Then I French seamed them to the right length. Like this is the material is completely synthetic and will melt like nobody's business. But at least it's going to be as nicely constructed as I can do it, except for the parts where I'm like, I just can't be bothered.
Oh, I am shiny. Look at that.
I I know I should have powdered my face, and I think I'm doing all this detail on the leg because I haven't gotten on my pattern pieces for the front fall for the waistband, so I'm avoiding doing the waistband. But I have to do all these parts while it's flat, so I'm like, if I have add more ornamentation, then I don't have to make a waistband, which I know is
I'm
ridiculous, but
you know what? No, it's not. Like I make belt loops because I refuse to taper my shorts in. Like I refuse to. I'm like, you will adhere to me. It will not be the other way around.
right, I have to wear you. You will be my way or no way.
So no, it's not bad. I'm like that too. Like side pockets. Like I have this like internal struggle of like do I want to turn everything into a pea coat, or should I just be a man and put pockets on this?
There's nothing.
But I hate pockets, so I turn everything into a pea coat. Everything, you know.
Or
It's my struggle.
I don't know. Everybody in their pockets. It's so overrated. Just carry a bag and don't make your hips look bigger.
Well, the problem is like where I live, I would carry a backpack, but people assume you're homeless, and they
Yeah.
treat you differently. They really do.
Oh,
People are really pretentious where I live.
yeah, that's weird. That's weird. Oh, but there's been so much craziness. Oh, feel like, oh, did you hear about this whole thing about exercise now being, if you exercise, you're now a right wing extremist?
What? Put me on the list. Put me on the
I
list.
know. It was such a great article. I mean, I think they were trying to say that there's some like MMA fighting groups that are like indoctrinating young men to be like
Okay, that I
manly,
believe, but
manly stuff. But isn't that what MMA is anyway?
and like, have they never been to a boxing camp? Like,
Right.
boxing is the same way. They indoctrinate. Like, there's boxing gyms in certain neighborhoods you can't go to unless you're from that neighborhood. It's like gang. It's like a gang
Right,
thing, you
it
know.
is. Yeah. I oh, I just thought that was super funny.
They would hate Southern California. There's like we have MMA studios everywhere, boxing studios everywhere.
Right.
You know, I I always argue back that like the you can't cry about anyone radicalizing anyone. Like we people go to church, people go to work, people you know what I'm saying? Like we just need to watch that anti-propaganda film, like how to decipher between BS.
But yeah. It I know. Oh, and then it was making me think too. Like the Democratic Party and these ultra liberals want government to take care of everybody. So if you don't exercise and are unhealthy, it's another avenue for them to say, "But will the big government will come take care of you? You don't need to like take ownership for your own health and well being."
That is my biggest beef with people right now. Like, we are too reliant on technology. People think, oh, because there's a camera, it'll save me, or oh, like I don't have to watch
Right?
my
It's just as
kids.
much of a liability.
Yeah, it's so strange. The world, but like I'm an observant person, so the world seems strange to me, and it always has. Because people are, we do things
Oh,
in trend.
strange.
Speaking of which, so have you joined Threads yet?
No.
I
Unless
downloaded
you
it.
like automatically get like opt shuttled in from Meta through having Facebook and Instagram and
My Instagram and Facebook are not linked though. They're on two different Godless Sewing and William Sewing. My
yeah.
last name's very close. So they're on two different email addresses, everything. So
I
if
don't know,
I
but
if I click from my phone, is it gonna like and both are saved into my phone?
oh, what was I gonna?
And I haven't signed up yet though, because like but um it makes me laugh that the only thing I've ever gotten popular on is dying. Like Twitter is dying. And it's the only thing that I ever reached anything over 1,000 on.
Oh, good work. Oh, that was funny too. Taylor Lorenz in that ridiculous article about only like right wing political heads are getting their payout from Twitter. And she's like, did she not look to see that Mr. Beast got a payout too? I don't think he's a right wing shill.
I think anything that people like nowadays, anything that people want to cry about, they're like, "Oh, I'm being oppressed," and they're really not.
Oh
Like,
no, she's not. No, Taylor Lorenz is definitely not. She comes from a super. Her uncle or one of her family members runs the or owns the archive.org website. So and like private schools, big old family money. No, she is not. Ugh, she's such a
Those are
weirdo.
the kind of people that say things like Kim Kardashian, where she's like, "Why don't people just get jobs and get off their butt?" Like, not everybody had billionaire parents, kid. Not
Right. I know. How did she ever finish pass the baby bar exam? How was her law school apprenticeship going?
So here's the thing about Hollywood. I'm gonna go off in a second about that too. Here's the thing about Hollywood. If you don't hear from them for a while, they haven't done anything they said they were gonna do.
Oh,
Okay. So with this strike,
I was right. We need to stream more often.
I completely forgot about that because I wanted to go off. I'm gonna go off tomorrow. So anyone who's here, get ready for this to be repeated. But like, Fran Drescher is kind of lying. She's kind of lying because the grips, the people in the movie industry make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. They shut down towns. They it's the movie industry is not what you think it is. At least in on this side of town, they're elitists. They think they're better than everybody else, and now they were told by management they're just like everybody else. When Fran Drescher said she was labor, it made me physically ill. And
Like,
she's not labor. She's not. I'm labor. I drive a tractor. She's
right, the
not
makeup
labor.
artist is labor. The
Yeah,
craft services is labor. The prop house is labor. The lighters, the gaffs, the riggers. Like, yeah.
I agree, Alibaba. I agree. There's people who don't, but like, don't be fooled because the average American gets like $30,000. These people are making hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm on the others. I'm not anti like because I live in LA. Like these are the people who move into a town that's not theirs and like this. I don't know. I do not have a favorable view on the movie industry because I live around these people. The people I feel sorry for are like my neighbor who's a commercial actor. He's gonna be hurting in 6 months.
yeah.
You know.
I just feel bad for all the right, like all the other people that make the films work. That hey, Kilroy, best agent
Hey,
ever.
hey. I don't know. I'm 50-50. Now that we're all here, I'm 50-50 on it. Like, I don't feel sorry for the Hollywood people. Just remember,
I
these
don't feel
people
sorry
have.
for the actors. I feel sorry for the makeup, the lighting, all the other people who who don't get any credit, who have to be there just as early, if not earlier, to set up their kit. I feel bad for
Yeah.
those folks.
No, please continue to tell me. I need convincing because when super rich people cry foul,
They're
I'm
not
like,
the gaffers and the makeup people. They're not the super rich people. They get paid whatever their union rates are, and they get shafted.
because I live around like everyone in my town. I got insulted one time, and the stream shall remain nameless. But like somebody was, I made a comment how every other car here is a Tesla, and they're like, "There's no way." There's a way because I live near the movie industry. People have money here, and they're not the
Right?
nicest
Just
people.
yeah, I agree, Allie. The catering companies get hurt first, and then that do the studio food tables. Right, yeah, every the little guys, the blue collar of the movie industry suffers a lot because what you have to be there like 16, 18 hours. You don't get have some cushy trailer that you can like put your foot in, feet up in, that's stacked with snacks. You're the grunt getting all those things.
I see that because have you ever heard of a show called Sons of Tucson?
No.
They filmed it at the ranch, and they also filmed parts of Sons of Anarchy. The craft service people they work their tails off.
Right. Yeah, oh, Kilroy, this is terrible. You were talking with an individual who works a camera there. He hasn't worked since March. He's had to sell a bunch of stuff already, and he's pissed at these strikes. Yeah, because they have no scripts because the writers are still on strike, and now they have no actors because they're on strike. So these technical, talented folks.
What do you think about what the nanny said though? That AI is going to replace them all.
Well, and I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today about this. Depending on how some of these folks, through their hire out, however their contracts with the big studios are, if they signed away likeness rights, the
Oh,
studios already own them and they don't need to hire the individuals. They can digitally and AI do, they don't need to pay you money because they already own you, possibly.
is this kind of like when I tricked my dad into going to Vegas so I can go see the they had a Tupac hologram. And I'll never forget my dad and we went and saw the show and he looks at me and he's like, that's the most disrespectful shit I've ever seen in my life. Like they they were rapping next to a giant hologram screen.
Right,
Like
because if they own your if a company owns your likeness, they can do
oh,
whatever they want with it.
good times. It was disrespectful because it didn't even look like Tupac. They made him darker. It was weird. It
Well, I
was
mean,
weird.
they've done the same thing to Prince. Like that's these are like the testing grounds. So yeah, I'm. And I was just like, we need to start streaming more often because there's going to be a void.
No, I
People
was thinking
have
about that
nothing to
too.
watch.
Like now's the time for us to take that voice. That's why I'm anti Hollywood too. I'm my own editor. I literally make the clothes, I make the video, I edit the video. Like my
Mhm.
credits would be like godless sewing, godless sewing, godless sewing.
This is so true too. The scripts are getting stupid, and actors have gotten so predictable and robotic that
Yes.
an AI could run a DOS. An AI run on DOS could be better. Oh, that's funny, Gilroy. That's good.
Even I know DOS. I got that one.
I
I
don't think
miss
you could have lived
DOS.
in your house without your father at least yelling about the DOS.
They taught it to us. They taught it to us in elementary school. That was like that's how I'm aging myself now.
Right. I learned command prompts a little bit later, but AI isn't real. There is a difference. A computer driven voice is good, but I can tell if it's computer generated or I'm sure I'm not saying that it's going to be good quality. I'm just throwing out a possibility.
It's crazy times. And also,
Oh,
like,
my shiny like glazed donut. Wow, I need to powder my face.
that's why I keep on putting my hat on because at least it's absorbing the sweat. Because my cowboy hat just pours sweat. I don't know. Like, for as much as I'm pro robot, like, I don't know because the Hollywood industry has created elitists. Like you could never walk into Jason Momoa's neighborhood. You would never be able to go near Will Smith's neighborhood where Kim Kardashian lives. Um you can get off the freeway, but if you start going in the hills towards those houses, they stop you. Like there's like
Right.
literally gates. Like you can't just drive up into the Palisades unless you live there.
Yeah. No thanks.
So there I don't know.
Oh, everything will be like a Hallmark Christmas movie. Yeah, I think so. I think
Now I gotta use all the props and crud that my pops bought. I have wigs in here. Like, you want to have a church service? I have tambourines
I thought you were gonna say you've got the pews.
at the job. I do at the job. But I'm trying to like reduce all the crud from my house.
Yeah, it's good to do every once in a while.
You have to. You have to. You know what you got me when you said like, because I constantly say like I was no hoarder until my grandmother passed away and then my pops, and that's how it happens.
Yep, it that
And
is a
so I've
common
been throwing away all.
story.
Yeah. So I'm getting rid of all the crud.
Yeah, save somebody else the hassle, and then you can enjoy your more of your space now. Okay.
Oh, so true, Kilroy. I am so over remakes. It makes me angry. I think that's why I'm here. I think that's why I've come to this conclusion of F them all.
Right. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, Hollywood is anymore. Yeah, I know they're so programmed that what I My friend doesn't care about this new live action remake of The Seven Dwarves, but I think replacing the dwarves with creatures that are not dwarves, all seven of them, kind of bugs me.
I'm gonna say something controversial, and I know, like, stop making remakes.
Well,
This is
that,
my
that
whole
I was
beef with
that there's
Hollywood.
that too.
Like, you have all this money, you have all these, like, excuse me, we hold Harvard in such esteem and all these schools. Like, what are you kids going to school for? Give me something new, man. Let's reinvent the wheel. Like, in the 1990s, there was this sci-fi explosion. Jim Henson made
The Dark
Farscape.
Crystal.
Farscape was from a different planet. It was like nothing I'd ever seen. Like, every genre had something different. Like, Snoop
Yeah.
Dogg talks about it all the time. Every rapper sounded different. It's not like now where they all sound the same. Like,
Right, auto-tuned and pre-programmed. Right, they were
try
just
something.
spitting out like carbon copies that are more boring than the last one.
Oh, like, I'm over slave movie, maid movies. Like,
Right.
I'm over it. Like,
I'm over cars. I'm over action heroes. I'm over forcing marginalized, underrepresented groups into every movie so that we can check off all the special diversity
over it.
check boxes just to be like, we forced them in there, even if it makes sense to the plot line or not, which it seems
Even
like
in the
different.
last Black Panther,
I, oh,
I considered it kind of racist because they put the Mexican god up against the African god. They can go F off. We don't need any more tensions in LA.
see, right. I know. And why do we need a third remake of Willy Wonka? Like, just stop it.
You know what's really funny? I didn't know anything about it until last night. I was really bored. I was on Twitter and they were talking about how people are like, I don't like this guy's accent. What did we ever do before we could complain about everything? Like,
We did.
where
It's that
was
we
the
could.
world?
We didn't have to. The whole world didn't have to hear us complain. They didn't have a weekly Stitch and Bitch per week. Well, they did, but it wasn't on the YouTubes.
But
And
we're crying over relevant things. We're not like, oh, spilt milk kind of thing, you know?
no, we haven't gotten to the food portion of the show.
It's too hot to be hungry today.
Right. And like carb loaded. Human brought home a freaking maple glazed donut with pudding stuffed. It's been years since I've eaten a donut, and I was like, oh my god, I've got a headache. I don't need to turn. He's trying to turn me into a McMuffin, and I'm not okay with it.
Do you know what's really funny? That happened to me last time I went to Vegas. I went a little too crazy and I got a sugar rush because I don't drink alcohol anymore. So I was just like, I need food, give me sugar. And I got a headache and I felt kind of sick because I overdid it.
Yep.
And I don't eat ice cream. I ate a sundae the size of my head. Like,
Oh man.
that reminds me, when I made my headband yesterday, I did a blasphemous thing. I'm gonna put on my Spock robe in a moment. It's just so hot in here.
I know.
I used a sewing machine for a patch. And in like the punk rock world, oh my god, I am so sweaty. I am so shiny. In the punk rock world,
Stop making me look at my forehead.
well, I don't have hair. My eyebrows are literally the only thing that saves my eyes. And yes, they're catcher's mitts, and my eyebrows are huge. I know, but like,
But at least at least there's two of them because you can never trust the human with only one eyebrow.
well, when I'm older, I'm screwed because I shave my uni. I had a baby uni and I started shaving it, so now it's like a mid.
Whatever, just continue to give the impression that there's two of them. Let's see. I see people who are like, yay, now the studios are going to get fucked. And I'm like, bro, these companies have more money than the Vatican. They can easily survive a strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
That's why the Disney CEO, he was kind of like his interview was like 30 seconds because he was like, they have unreasonable demands. We'll meet you somewhere in the middle. And he stopped talking because he's like, I got more money than your god, so do what you gotta do.
I just made $25 billion, a shit ton of money last year, and I don't care.
I love you, Alibaba. If no one's told you today, I love you for this comment.
our resident Neanderthal and singer expert is in the house. All
If
right,
anyone ever
there's
asks me,
no.
I'm going to say I'm part Neanderthal.
This.
Oh gosh, speaking of Canada, I saw this really scary map of like an earthquake map. Vancouver, Canada is way closer than I thought it was. As
Yeah,
far as like Portland, Seattle, and Vancouver, you could literally see them all on a map.
yeah, right. Oh, I know that. Typhoon warning yesterday morning up in Alaska for their 7.2 that they had.
I'm laughing because that's why I was looking all that up. That's exactly why, because they were like tsunami warning an hour ago, and I was like, well, it won't affect us down here because I don't hear the sirens. We have tsunami sirens, but we live in the mountains.
Yeah,
It would have to be a catastrophic event. Like LA, like all of LA would have to be in the ocean.
this fabric, I need to complain about it. It's this beautiful synthetic. They must have done this through the dyeing because it's one continuous piece and it shreds like there's no tomorrow.
There's certain material I avoid. I used to work I don't know why, but my father obsessively bought drapes. And so anything I would always line with the drapes, but they were too stringy.
Yeah,
And it drove me mentally insane.
right. I know. I forces me to practice good sewing by trimming the threads, putting in the rolled hem just to contain it because I can't. But it
That's
just.
crazy. In BC Victoria, I could see Mount is that Baker
Yep.
or Mount Hood?
What?
And I don't even have my glasses on and I could actually see that comment.
Right, because I was busy trimming threads. Sorry,
No,
Chad.
it's okay. That's crazy to me. Do you know, I'll tell you, I was in a weird phase of my life when I lived up there, and every time I went into Canada, I would go with a group of friends and we do hallucinogens. So it seemed a lot further away than what it really was.
Yeah, it's not that far.
Or like we'd go to Victoria. Is it Victoria Island? Where
Mm-hmm.
all the hippie girls with the dreads are?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Fun times. Fun times. I don't think my body could take it though. I'm not in my 20s anymore.
Yeah. Too many responsibilities now. Too like once the once you have an adult and not a minor.
Recently, I got tested recently and I said no. I was like, I have too much stuff to do.
Right. Oh, there's too many sewing projects. What did I do?
Speaking of which, I will be going off about this tomorrow as well. Young Mr. Sewing went to church today with grandma and they had a good old time. They went on a date and I didn't have to get up, so it was glorious.
Right, so you set up a kiddie pool instead.
Oh, literally smoking a J with my swim trunks on, and I'm just old enough to finally fit in them. I've had them for like, the trunks I'm wearing right now. They're probably older than my son. Vancouver Island, Victoria is on that island on the south end. Whichever one you take the ferry from Seattle. Gosh, those were such good times. That was before you needed a passport and after because George Bush changed the law and they didn't care for the longest time.
What fairy?
It has to be Vancouver Island
Yeah,
because
but I just can't think of
this
none of
was
the.
21 years ago.
Yeah, no, but I can't think of the ferry from Seattle. Like, there's no Seattle ferry to Vancouver that I ever knew about when I lived there. I know. You
We'll
doing
look it
that?
up. I'll show it to you. I had
Okay,
such good
because I
times.
just not that I don't believe that such a thing existed. I just am racking my brain. Oh no, now the little sewing will turn into an
He
annoying.
is kind of.
Right,
He
like
kind of is.
because he already tried to start his Church of Normanism, so he's just trying out the established one so we can get better ideas for the new one. I use
Thank you, Alibaba. Thank
fairy.
you.
I know the Twisson fairy line. I think interesting. Yeah, I don't remember that being there because I used to take the from. Not Kirkland, over to the San Juans. I used to take
I'm
that ferry.
I'm laughing because I look like those guys I make fun of. I watch these religious black guys that make these crazy headbands, and I'm like, I can do that. But this reminds me of Spock on the voyage home.
Oh, Kingston to the. Oh, I used to love the
Oh,
ferry driving on the smells. Oh,
it's so
I did
funny.
so much knitting that. Oh, because I was going through my vintage knitting pattern book, so I'd had hand spun yarn and my knitting and sit in the car on the boat and knit. Oh, it was so much fun.
Yeah, Gilroy, he went to church with my mom and he's Catholic now. And because my mom's been going to the church longer than I've been alive, he went up and got the Eucharist. And where I'm from, you can't like go unless you're baptized. But because my mom's been, they just assumed that my son was Catholic and he has autism, so he does not care. He's like,
He doesn't know the rules,
no,
probably.
my mom told him. You only have to
Okay,
tell him something once. No, that's the good thing about
fair.
my son. You
Yeah,
only have to tell him something once and he will remember it. And I looked at him like, what? And she's like, yeah, they didn't say anything to me. I was like, you are officially Catholic, bro.
you've accepted the body.
Oh, it made me laugh. Oh, it made me laugh so freaking hard. Because he doesn't care. He probably just followed his grandmother up there.
Right. See, okay, I'm still stuck on this ferry thing because it makes more sense to have a ferry from um what's that northmost city that starts with a B? But from Bellingham to Vancouver makes more sense to have a ferry rather than Seattle.
Keep in mind, I used to travel with my old boss, and we would be drinking in the car.
Okay, so if you two, we're
I
kind of
was 20.
we
I
were in
was like
Washington State going to Canada,
heading
but
heading
that's
north.
how.
Heading north is where we would go. And
Right.
I went and saw the Mariners like at least 6 or 7 times. I saw the Seahawks like 4 or 5 times. We
Yeah.
partied. I went to Washington, like Long Beach, Long Beach, the largest peninsula on the West Coast.
Yeah. Oh, I love that beach there is so
So
nice.
beautiful. It feels, it's weird. It's so weird. It's so weird, especially at night because you can walk on it at night. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I loved that place. That's where I walked up to the moose.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Could you be a Karate Kid team in the? I love. Do you know what's really funny, Ollie? Somewhere in this room, I have a 1980s Karate Kid headband, but I don't want to ruin it because it says Karate Kid on it. It's like from my era. Like I don't want to ruin it. And on a funny twist, every time I enter Reseda, California, I think of Karate Kid, the movie. Every time. There's a thrift store that like LA is strange though because like Reseda's right down the street. Where they filmed The Big Lebowski is less than 15 minutes from my house, but they won't
Oh,
be filming anything.
that Long Beach was made in 1700 from a great tsunami of that year. Interesting. There's some
That's
funny town names like Battle Creek. That was a hard town. Things did not go well in Battle Creek, Washington.
I think of Battle Creek, Michigan when you say that.
Oh, well. If I did I misspeak? If I did, I'm sure somebody in the chat will correct me, and I'm okay.
No, in America, there's a million Lafayettes. There's a Martin Luther King
Yeah.
everywhere except for Arizona. There's Washington, everything, you know.
Oh, I know they teased me. They said we were supposed to in Oregon parts you could see the northern lights, but I don't think
I
I think
saw
they were
that.
too far south. I was like, you're teasing me. Light pollution and mhm.
I was thinking about that even in Portland because even though they don't have as much like light pollution, they still have light pollution because it's a
Oh,
city.
yeah, they do.
But it's not like LA. Like if you've ever flown in a plane, you can see LA from Arizona because
I've
it's so lit up, you know.
I've flown in a plane, but not there. Battle Creek wasn't that founded at the end of the Western Trail, 1820s. Yes, yes, and that's one of those little towns that's just over the border by Vancouver, Washington, not Vancouver, Canada.
I just never realized how close everything was because I live on the hard side of the plate. So my side of the plate will literally jump on everybody else's. So I'll survive. No one near the ocean will.
Right.
But I thought it was really interesting. I'm on the same side of the plate with and so is Sacramento. It's really weird when you look at the map.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Named after Michigan town from them coming from there. Usually, it isn't everybody's like we miss where we came from, so we're gonna call it the old name again and pretend that we still live there, but we don't. In
My town
Pennsylvania town. I
literally
know Intercourse and Climax. Yeah. Who did the map? Where did I see that? Was that on Twitter? That was like a map. It was like Big Dick, Clitoris, Climax,
Alexa,
Giant.
what's the weather in Tits, Oregon right now?
Right now in Salem, Oregon,
Oh,
it's
see,
92 degrees Fahrenheit
you've done it
with
to me
clear
again.
skies and sun.
There is
Tonight's forecast is
Alexa,
mostly
thank you.
anytime.
It's because I'm really polite to my A word. But there is a TITS Oregon. There's also a boobs somewhere else. I can't remember, but it's probably the same map you were talking about.
It was
But I'm
so funny.
childish, so certain names stuck out.
Right. That looked like a funny road trip. Let's see here. Lewis and Clark expedition where they set up a town. Yo, and they and they were the Bible Belt communities for sure. I wonder if we'll see the big one. I know they've been saying any day now since the 80s. I know they're kind of like starting to let me down. I'm getting a little disappointed.
94 was no joke. I was a 6.0?
Some well, the chat will correct.
Alexa, what was the magnitude of the 1994 earthquake in Los Angeles, California?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, on January 17, 1994, at 4:31 a.m., a magnitude 6.7 earthquake,
6.7.
earthquake, struck the San Fernando Valley region of Los Angeles, killing more than 60,
San
injuring more
Fer.
than 9,000,
Alexa.
and causing
Alexa.
widespread damage. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for your feedback.
You're welcome.
I feel like Alexa is like my drunk aunt.
Right. Okay, that's too funny. It reminds you of a T-shirt I once saw. I got laid in Chicken, Alaska. It is overdue. Last big one was in 1700. Ooh, thank goodness for Brunhild. Alibaba, there's a sewing machine. I fell. We were talking about this. There's a hand crank sewing machine group on Facebook that I should never have joined because somebody has a Phoenix Model A that they're selling. Except I'm sure 350 is a good price, and then 130 for shipping. I was like, she's such a beautiful machine, but I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna put on my Spock robes, but my microphone's way better than I think it is. So if you can't hear me, but I have to put it on at least once. I made this thing, but it makes me look like either Spock from the Voyage Home or like a Moroccan prince or something.
When the big one happens, I hope most of LA breaks off and floats off into the Pacific. I probably will, or they'll just drown. But reading Octavia Butler at the beginning of the pandemic, that kind of creeped me out. She was an amazing, died before her time, wrote some amazing, I really liked her stuff. I have never paid more for $100 for a hand crank. I know,
That's good to know. I look like Spock in the Voyage Home with the
yeah,
I love this outfit.
That is like that is nice.
It's too hot to be wearing coats, though.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say this is a try on, take right off again. And they didn't even say if it worked or not, but I mean, how there's no motor, you just lube it up and get it cranking, but
maybe to be cool tomorrow night.
I don't have any things. Yeah, what did they say? That one was from 1883, the Phoenix Model A. It looked such an interesting looking machine, but I couldn't. rationalize the price and then the price of shipping.
I look like I'm gonna go wrestle Hulk Hogan at 5 o'clock when I wear this thing.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Thank you, Alibaba. It reminds me of the voyage home. I put it on and I was like, this is total Spock. I love that movie because it's a time capsule for San Francisco, 1980, whatever year they were there.
Oh, that's funny. The chat on my end is a little slow right now.
That's what always happens to me while I'm live streaming. It's the weirdest thing. Literally have to wait for it. Because I have a screen right here so I can see the chat in real time, and then it's slower on as we're streaming. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah. The model is the second type they made interesting. I knew I would get my history. I was like saving it up for my history lesson. Yet it looks like the dealer that sells them, they've got a couple machines, but everything was like $250. Like everything that they sell seems to be priced high. So I don't know whether it's.
I have a weird rule of like, are you gonna keep it in your house forever? Are you gonna like you have there's certain justifications, and if you're not, then don't spend that much money, you know? And if you feel guilty about it, don't do it.
Yeah, I'm content with the machines I have. Like I have enough beautiful workhorses that I'd rather use and enjoy the ones I have, because then that's just another machine I need to use and care for.
Exactly. Says the I'm literally a curator of a museum in this house.
I I have some, but not. I've got enough to take care of. Next, did you check the German link I listed here? I did. Couple. Yes, I have to go back and look through it again. It's been a little while, but I did take a picture of that link. It's my crappy version of screen saving.
I think I had a little bit too much fun in the kiddie pool.
You're a little extra crispied.
I get burnt and I peel. It's an illusion if you think people of color don't peel. Like I get weird when I get burnt. It's like purple. It's the strangest, and it hurts, and it freaking hurts.
Sunburn hurts. That's why I avoid the sun. Oh, I wish I powdered my face, but
I'm like out there. I'm like, I'm a photo cell. I need the sun, and then the next day I'm like, why did I do that to myself? Why?
We'll just highlight the sewing machine more than my face.
What did I do with my scissors? Of course they're right here.
I don't know, but working Brunhilde is like a workout right now.
It's so hot. I'm sewing. Remember that.
Interesting. They have the best list of Phoenix machines I've seen. All right, I'm gonna peruse it again to see if these people are selling or overpriced, or whether I might actually consider this. Which I just consult my experts for help when I'm gonna so I don't make bad decisions. About sewing machines.
I have like a number in my head where I won't go past with certain things, even if I really want it. And I've learned to not act shocked. Like, if you walk up to something and you're like, "Oh, how much is that?" They're gonna be like $10,000.
Right, you just gotta look stone-faced.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, how much is this piece of junk?
Right. Oh my gosh. Before Human left, I was like, I needed sent up a shopping list. It's like, oh, can we see it? It's like, you need to bring me home some flowers, a nice bottle of gin, some other things.
Awesome.
And then they made them, I was like, they got home and they're like, did you bring me my presents? Those were the three of them, picked out some shells and a burl for me. This giant clamshell.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right. If you're going to go to the ocean, the least you can do is bring me back presents.
Damn right.
And leave me with consolation prizes. Prices have changed recently. 0, 0, 100 I would offer. Or let's see here. Hashtag 300 I would offer if it comes with a manual and attachments. Right. That seems reasonable. Right, because a machine without any attachments, then I just end up collecting them, and And for that machine, like, yeah. Killer Ray says, "Oh, that's one thing I hate about this time of the year. It's hot and humid already, but then there are people who rub it in your face and say they love it and they just want to run them over. If I were in Norway, it would be 25, 75 US all day. Oh my god, right? Because probably unfortunately, I'm not in Norway.
If it makes you feel any better, Kilroy, I'm completely miserable, and I'm from the heat, and I hate the heat. And I'm from somewhere where it's hot every year. It just seems like it's getting hotter and hotter, but I'm just getting older and older and bitchier
My
and bitchier.
tolerance just goes down.
It's really not the weather, it's me. It's me.
Right. And I don't know, I'm sure people may already know this trick, but as I'm roll hemming these strips, and I feel like I took too much time the last time by doing each piece individually, and instead I was like, do all the trimming and then run them all as a strip on the one side and then do all the other sides afterwards. Worked out much faster. Or I found it more satisfying. But to each their own. Ooh, 74 and 82 degrees. I'm like, I can't breathe. No
It's
one wants
literally 100 something right now.
right, if you don't know what they have and they're closer, because old fashioned German stuff is probably closer to Europe than here by and large.
That's why I live in the kingdom of Singer. You rarely see anything else.
Well, and we were talking about that too. Do you wonder? I wonder if it may have been from the movies and the prop house, the theater departments needing good quality machines and being able to afford more expensive kit.
It wouldn't make sense. There's Singer everything here. Like, I want a Pfaff. I want a Nancy Zeman sewing machine, and I have yet to find one. And I guarantee you, if I went to Wisconsin, I'd go to the Goodwill, and it'd be the first thing I found.
Seriously, I was in the used sewing supply group. Somebody was like, I spent $1,100 on this Pfaff Industrial. I literally used it one time. I'm selling it. I was like, why do these, why and how do these people have this much money to drop on a machine that they're never gonna like? Did
I'm
you
gonna
have a
start a.
catastrophic accident? Did something happen? Like, what is wrong with you?
Some people inherit it. Like
But
my
they said they
brother.
bought it.
Oh my gosh, I don't like those people. My brother's wife, who we hate each other, she inherited a Bernina. Like, and her mom bought it right before she passed away. It was like a brand new 2015 with all the bells and whistles. And
Mm-hmm.
she looked me dead in my eyes and she's like, "You can't have it." And I was like, "I don't want
I
it."
didn't ask.
Bougie. And I really didn't. I really didn't. But like, she didn't even know what she had. She doesn't know how to sew, but she doesn't want me to have it.
Right, just out of spite.
So we
Right, and
hate
that's
each
what I was
other.
thinking. Singer selling in bulk to the theaters and the shops. Killer Eye says Ellie didn't build out until Singer stomped all over everybody else. That's true because they did buy up the patents for so many of the parts and biddles and bobs, and having the first like layaway or offering installment plans. That's really what I think. That was huge.
And they were, yeah, they were huge until like the mega stores came out though, because if you think about it, like, did they sell Singers at Sears? No.
No, because they sold their own brand. They had the Kenmores instead. That would have been
Exactly.
competition. I was like, is this a trick question? Am I gonna get punked?
No, no, you're right. No, I'm Sears obsessed. I know way too much about Sears.
Oh, Killer, I know. Do your damn research. How do you have this much money? Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know what though? I'm gonna tell you, like I was going off about the movie industry. A lot of people where I'm from inherit stuff. A lot of people. They're like I know people in their 50s who don't start their life until they inherit a house or like I don't, so like ugh.
Oh,
Or they
okay,
have benefactors like rich grandparents or parents.
right. Let's see here. We've been affirmed no singer at Sears. They had national made machines. Yup. Oh, this weather
I
is.
love all my Sears sewing machines. Well, it's because I'm obsessed with Japanese clones. I've said it a gajillion times. We all know I'm obsessed with Japanese clone sewing machines.
I know. I do. Look, maybe next week, because I got a gigantic. Oh my god! I ordered a beast of a surge protector because we have five
Yes,
outlets plus USB ports.
that's
So
hardcore.
maybe next week I'll I'll pull out my baby lock and my singer because it's been a hot minute and one of them definitely needs some attention and the other one just needs some love. So I'll pick out something. Oh, I know my quick interlude project. I have some chemistry science printed flannel.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, I've got it. It was a from a yeah. Regardless how it came to my stash, but I was thinking of a like petticoat, under petticoat, and a short jacket or a sack coat because I've got enough.
Awesome.
I'll do the construction, then I'll let the hem drop because my other short dress is like triangle shaped, and I'm like, is it the way I cut it or that I neglected to let it hang so that the hem could drop before I finished it? And it was probably the latter and a me problem, but
You know what? When I made my medieval smock, like it looked wrong the entire time until I put it together. Like I'm like, this doesn't look right. And then I put it together. I'm like, oh, I actually followed the instructions.
it does work. But I
So,
had three of these. Did I just cut two? No, I did have a third. How dare you be hiding over there?
I am nuts, Kilroy. I am.
Well, you have to plan ahead. The big houses, they're doing their winter fall collections because you got to think the season ahead so that you've got the clothes ready when the season changes. You can't.
We were spoiled this year because our winter, like we had an actual seasons this year. We're not used to it. So it wasn't 100 a month ago. So I'm just not used to the heat yet.
No, I know. I figured I neglected the hang. I was like, oh, it's synthetic. It's not gonna matter. But yeah, no, always hang shit. So I hung the legs to my Pluto hose, even though I think I've got everything on the lined up along the selvages. But yeah, hanging your clothes is important before you set the hem.
Oh, that reminds me. I've been cleaning out my closet and I'm crazy. I thought it was 300. I have about 400 black shirts. And keep in mind, a year ago in the video, I gave away 300.
Speaking of hems, my brain went to like, you have more than one of the chalk filled hem levelers that you stand next to and it clips it and punches. I was like, I would like one of those. Do you have an extra?
If you lived any closer, like you could probably name half the stuff I have in here because a lot of it's from a white sewing machine. I think my grandma owned one. I think my cousins got to my grandma's sewing machines before because I only found two. And she had more than two.
Case the disappearing sewing machines. The drape is what determines the final fit. I know. So learn from my mistakes and Allie correcting me, but helping me diagnose that I'm pretty sure this is what's wrong, and I think I know why I effed it up. I mean, it doesn't look bad trapezoidal, but I did kind of marginally hope it would be like straight across. But next time, I will let the flannel hang because I've learned from my mistakes.
I have coffee in here.
Let the coffee drinking begin. Or
It's
continue.
like kind of lukewarm. It can't go cold on a day like this in a room in this room.
Right. Between the
I'm
electronics
weird.
and the temperature.
I have returned to my technosexual side. For
Okay.
s- for some reason, my Apple desktop from 2012 decided to start working again. Kind of. Oh,
All
I see
right.
it. Kind of. Oh, I might have to turn it off actually, because it's way behind on the stream.
Yeah, it is good to do Allie. That's why I do a mock up first and see how it drapes. Yes. If if I'm gonna do
Oh,
something that's needs to be well, sometimes I do mock ups and sometimes I don't. If it looks like a giant sack, then I'm gonna be like it's gonna fit.
I
Sometimes.
know, I know you're gonna hate me for this. I do a mock up for everything. Almost everything. I'll do a mock up because I'm not even a perfectionist. I just will like, oh, I'm gonna make a cheap version of it really quick.
Yeah, yeah, no, I was gonna say I sometimes I don't, but then I'm like, wait, a lot of the things I've been making are patterns that I've used before, so I already know they fit. So, or I'm just modifying things that I've already made, so I've already done it, so I don't make another mock-up unless something significantly changes. And I haven't gotten into altering the dart lines on my bodice block. Or I want to do a princess cut something, but do I want a shoulder princess, a neck princess, an arm side princess? That's too many big questions. Why is the chat so slow? I only have 62 different things hooked up to it. Killer, you're cracking me up.
Okay, you're gonna make fun of me when I ask this question. Will having multiple computers in here mess up the signal? My
Yes,
Wi-Fi.
because if they're all connected to the internet, they're all slowing your signal down. Every device slows your signal.
Oh, really?
Yes! As we look around questioningly, what can I turn off and not have it hooked up to the internet right now?
I'm I'm crazy. I live in a control. I live in a CIC. For anyone who's ever been in the military, I literally live. I've turned this room into like a Navy CIC because I'm crazy. I have a bunch of monitors. I have security cameras so I can like lazily spy on my neighbors.
I know that'll be interesting now that Oregon had that Fifth Circuit case go up about it's okay to record people surreptitiously as long as you're in a public space, how that's going to affect the two-party consent laws in like California. Like if you're in your private home, it makes sense that it'll still uphold, but if you're like out to eat at a restaurant that in a public space and somebody then records you.
So I actually know the California state law on this one because I recently had to deal with it with my neighbor.
Oh, I know what it you right. I know what
It
it
is
used to be, but I
illegal.
wonder if it's gonna how the fifth appellate court is gonna rectify all of those things in the future.
So like it's basically legal in Oregon, it's illegal in California. You cannot videotape someone without their like if you're walking on the street, it's different. Like if you're filming a movie, if you're in Hollywood Boulevard, but if someone's in front of their house and they're like F you can't film them.
Right. Well, at your house, you're expected a right to privacy. This is like you're walking in town, stopping at a coffee shop, and somebody records you there. That's
I
different.
I kind of think that nobody like we're all under camera nowadays.
That's true too.
Vegas is the perfect example. There's not a square inch in Vegas that you can go without being on camera. And this was like 2014, 2015. They would brag about that. Like, imagine how they are now.
Oh, I know. And that big eye, their big globe failing this week, going to the blue window screen of death. That was funny.
That thing trips me. Are you talking about that moon thing?
Yeah,
The
that big
dome?
LED dome.
Oh. Dude, there's people that have almost crashed trying to take pictures of it on the freeway. They're like, oh my god, the moon's like, don't be on acid going near that thing.
Let's see here. Killer, two-party consent only ever applied in situations where there's a reasonable expectation of privacy. Right, I think that's what we're saying. It applies in your yard, but not if you're at McDonald's or the store. Right.
I found that out. My neighbor and he sued me and lost badly because he doxed me, and you can't videotape people without their consent where I live. At least they're telling you go away. You have to.
Right.
Oh, that's so funny. Oregon is so lit. You can almost have anything in your pocket and not go to jail for it. And in LA, like if it's not green, you're going to jail.
Oh no, that's true. We've decriminalized up to a certain amount of literally everything.
That's crazy to me.
Oh, killer! I saw a video of that huge dome. I think it's stupid. Yeah, it. And then when it like shit the bed and it was all blue and not working. Oh, the memes that came out of that were pretty funny.
They're
Memes.
they're completely changing Vegas right now because they've got a baseball team now. They have their hockey team just won the Stanley Cup. Their
Oh
hockey team is
wow!
literally the world champs right now, as far as the National Hockey League. So they're amping up to become a major city. But by the
They have
time
no
we're
water.
old, yeah, they will have no water.
They barely have water now. They're not
Phoenix,
gonna
Arizona. Honestly, like if I won the lottery and like had millions upon millions and millions, I would move back to Phoenix, but they have no water there.
No, yeah.
Because I'll tell you, when I lived in Phoenix, they catered towards rich people. And so if you live in certain areas, it's heaven. It's literally heaven. Well, at least when I lived there. And so Arizona, I lived near Alice Cooper. Let's just put it that way. It was like I lived in a really nice area.
It does sound nice.
Oh, it's nothing but golf courses, wherever you go, anywhere you go to the mall, it's 40 degrees inside the mall because their air conditioning works.
Oh god, that's too cold. See, and then that's wasteful of their resources. And it's like, the shows are gonna suck and the people are just gonna go because it's got a huge screen. I know! It's like, what is it, at the one where they've got the dancing fountains with the light show and the music, like
Okay, so that like it was cool when they had the pirate ship come out every 3 hours. The light show is only good for people on drugs or drunk people.
which is a good majority of folks walking the strip, but
To be fair, most people in Vegas are on drugs or drunk.
or wish they were.
Yeah. It's really funny. Like, I miss Portland, but I wouldn't want to take my kid there. I miss Vegas, but the more and more I think about it, I wouldn't want to take my kid there. Do you know what? I was I was looking up statistics last night because this is what you do to scare yourself at 4:00 in the morning. Las Vegas has the third highest murder rate per capita in America because Las Vegas is considered a smaller city. So when you think of murder rates, you'll think of bigger cities. But New Orleans is
1 per 100,000.
exactly. And New Orleans is considered a smaller city. So when you start incorporating these other cities, like their murder rates are just 9 times higher than everybody else's.
Right.
And everywhere where they had extremely high murder rates was in the South. I'm looking at you, Mitch McConnell. But I kind of tripped out because Vegas, every 22nd person gets murdered in Las Vegas.
Oh, right, because you got drunk people with money and winnings, or depressed that they lost big money. I think you've got a different, interesting set of circumstances in Vegas.
And it's an open city, so any biker gangs are huge there. Anyone, like if you're tough, Vegas is your play. Like Nevada it's a no joke state. Nevada is a no joke state.
Oh, there's my little nippers.
But I thought that was really interesting because the Vegas I go to, like I hang out with old ladies with visors because I'm a compulsive gambler.
You're like, take me to the bingo tables.
For real, the bingo, you can make money playing bingo. Don't
I know.
badmouth Sir Bingo.
I'm not. This is where you honed your skills at Catholic school. Oh
But
man.
like I want to take my son, but like I'm not trying to get murdered because because I have an obituary vest on or something, or like
Yeah. Well,
it's weird. It's see, but the thing is, they say that about LA, and like I get high fives when I go everywhere. I think a lot of it is if you go looking for trouble, you'll find it.
right. Don't F around. Don't, we're not, I don't live by the fuck around and find out philosophy of life.
I do. Oh man, it's so hot. Hey, but like I don't know, because I'm retired, I don't go looking for trouble. I'm just an old man. Like
I'm not retired, but I'm still not looking for trouble.
I'm serious, Alibaba. I've made friends like with people's grandmas at casinos.
Oh, the lavender haired ladies of the night.
That's real. That's real. I go off on bingo too. Like y'all think I'm joking. Like I will sit there for hours and play.
Oh, but speaking of bingo, I did not have Oprah Winfrey's spiritual advisor being involved in this hundreds of ladies and girls sex scandal.
There,
It
I
was
was
not on
waiting
my
for.
bingo card.
Hold on, really quick, Gilroy. You would have fun in Vegas because I get real chatty with the old ladies, and we know all of our business by the end of the. By the end of,
Oh, I'm here for the bingo too.
and Keno. Anyone knows anything about? I'm a compulsive gambler. I'm not trying to teach
I
anyone
didn't
anything.
hear about Keno until I moved to Oregon, and I still don't know what it is.
It's an ADD version of bingo where you can like walk around. Like Keno's
Okay.
crazy. Oh man, I miss gambling. But no
Right.
one around me is a degenerate.
No, we're just here for the stitching and the whole lot of the bitch.
Oh, we want to know about Oprah now. We all want to know
Okay.
because I want to say this really quickly. I already knew because Oprah hung out with Epstein, and if you
I
had a
was gonna.
picture with Epstein, I
Yes,
think you're a creep. I think you're a creep. Sorry, I think you're a creep.
yes. It like seeing these pictures and looking back. Yeah. So Oprah Winfrey, and I'd kind of heard this alluded to before that allegedly my conspiracy, not raw in any factual evidence of things that I heard on the infowebs, um, that Oprah set up her girls' schools in Africa as a means of moving merchandise. That's a terrible way to
Money
say
or
that. But
money or people? Was it money or
the
people?
girls,
Ew. Well, look what happened to Boko Haram, and no one said anything when they took all those girls.
right. So, and then I don't know if this is a new lawsuit or whether they're just getting sentenced, but Oprah's spiritual advisor got charged with like 300 like it was an insane amount of inappropriate contact.
Do you know what's really funny? Like my pops used to always say, if you're driving the car, you're guilty. Oprah was driving the car.
Right. Oh, the second at BBC is now in Medical Watch. That's interesting too. Oh, right, because that whole, oh my God. Welsh is such a weird language. Huw, is that what his name is? Hugh.
Lad Droog.
Fascinating.
I only know a little Welsh because of Doctor Who. I'm
Oh,
serious.
good
I'm
pun.
serious.
No, okay, so this week, this guy, Hugh, got in a newsreader for the BBC, allegedly was soliciting pictures from, I guess Britain's weird. Their age of activity consent is 16, but photographic stuff is 18. So
What?
they got in trouble. Yeah, I know. It's too confusing for my.
That is
I can't, it's that that's the least of the issues. So don't get stuck up in the weeds on this one. So he had pictures of an individual who was under 18 and was soliciting to pay them to have meetups during their COVID lockdowns. So he was like telling people, stay home, don't go out, don't do anything. And I'm like, hey, baby, you want to come to my house? And then Dan Wooten, who was, oh, this one is even more disgusting. There's so many layers of shenanigans with the Dan Wooten story because I'd first heard about him last year from catching up on the Johnny Depp versus the Sun liable stuff article because Dan Wooten was running PR for Amber Heard
Oh wow.
for a while. And then it comes out this week that allegedly he had surreptitiously recorded, I don't know if it's I don't even know, had like sex tapes from folks who didn't even know they were being taped.
What state does he live in?
Britain.
Oh, because where I live, they throw him under the jail.
Right, let's see here. He got popped for sexual peddling as well. Yeah, oh, let's see here. Kilray, I think if you have that kind of money that she has, either you're very old money and it's generational, or you've been forced into it, the shadiest fuck club. Yeah, and I think Oprah grew up humbly, so I'm going to go with the shadiest fuck team. Turn the camera off.
Oprah had a terrible upbringing, but I'm gonna say like I know somebody who was tortured by her parents, and she literally put herself through Le Cordon Bleu and went to UCLA. I know she's the exception, not the rule, but like there's people that have been treated worse. I don't know. Like
No, I'm sure.
I'm not.
I don't know. I don't think that having horrible experiences and like wallowing and like never being a functional human is. I think that's the exception. I think most people are like, well, the
I
the
think
rosy
most people
glasses Mary
wallow
Poppins
actually.
part of me is like, you should just shit happens. Shit's happened to me. Not that horrible, but you just gotta put your boots on and kick some shit and take no prisoners sometimes. And wallowing doesn't get you very far, but that's just my philosophy. Though I have spent lots of time wallowing during different points, so do as I say and not as I do. Always let your garments hang before you set the hem, kids. Oh, Elliot, your brother went to the Le Cordon Bleu. All those fancy poutines they must make. Oh, you like trying out the whole pastry course, I'm sure. All those croissants and pas de choux and um. Oh, you know what's something you right? I keep watching the Townsends on all of everybody's recommendations, and then random British cooking shows. No, actually, I've been most recently binging on the Australian version of the Bake Off, but see me. I want to do one of these hot, like meat pie crusted in the what is it? The hot water crust? Is that what it's called? I'm gonna get the name wrong, but those like steamed meat pies. But it's like 100 degrees and a steamed meat pie. The act of cooking it sounds like I'm in Dante's Inferno.
I'm
And
obsessed. I'm obsessed with pot pies. I make my own, but I use pie
not
crust.
pot pies, no, but the steamed ones where you put it in the mold and have to turn it out.
Oh,
Right, one of these like I've made a meat pie. No, the I mean, I guess they were meat pies. The ones they've got they used to have the fancy pudding pie metal shells, and then you have to make it airtight, and then you put it in a steamer or in a water bath, and either cook it that. Yeah, you cook it in a water bath, if I'm recalling
interesting.
correctly. At the entry,
Interesting.
the food section of the show.
I have a pot pie obsession. because next to bar food, I'm obsessed with single man food.
Right, lemon bag pie. I've not heard it called that, but maybe if that's the poor version of I don't have a metal cooking pie pan.
Kilroy coming through with the.
Ooh, I know. Yes, I have seen him too. Looking at Tasting
I
History with
haven't.
Max Miller. He made the original pizza from 2,000 years ago. I did see that one. And Alcatraz meal, soup that was served at Al Capone's soup kitchens, all kinds of cool historical foods. Townsend's have step by step of that. Yes, I've been enjoying trying to catch their Friday live streams before before Hunley and Gerber on Fridays, but sometimes I have to work. But yeah, Max Miller's I like watching his stuff too. And Mikey Chen and Strictly Dumpling. Oh, I hope Mikey Chen brings his new wife or his new lady with him, and he's not like traveling the world eating food all by himself. Like, I hope she, I hope she does some of the back end for him. Because wouldn't that be
Sometimes
sucky? You're like your partner travels the literal world eating food, and you're like stuck at home. No thanks, boo. You take me with you.
I wouldn't be with someone like that. You better take me or you're getting dumped.
Is that right?
No way. That's not even selfish. That's just consideration. Or at least like take me to France. When you go to
Right.
France, I want to go to France.
Yeah, I hope she goes. Let's see here. That's basically my
Oh,
diet, single person food. Only thing that kept me from making a pizza before hopping on here was the heat. Fair. Did you have the DiGiorno stuffed crust pizza, or did you get the fancy bougie thin crust California pizza, or did you make pizza from scratch? Not to assume that you were eating frozen pizza.
it's so funny you would say that. Isaiah gets those bougie California pizza kitchens, and I think they're gross. I eat DiGiorno. I think they're gross. I probably have one of those in the fridge right now. He eats those California pizza kitchens. It's too bougie because like back when Wolfgang Puck, it was just a store. I never thought it was cool to pay $60 for a pizza.
Yeah, no, pizza's not that expensive. In New York City, I'm looking at you. You cannot get rid of your wood-fired pizza ovens because like
Who are you if you
no,
get
the
rid of your wood
Italians,
fire?
the wood pyre, the wood fire pyre. Don't New York stop making dumb choices. Homemade is way better than pre-made. I know. I buy the stupid Tombstone pizzas where it's just plastic wrapped pizza. It's okay. There's no. I
I eat Tombstone. I eat
right.
Tombstone.
There's absolutely. As I turn my camera off for just a second here, stop camera, keep my audio. Um, there's no shame. There's no shame with frozen pizza from a box. I frequently eat frozen potato bits
Oh,
a lot, which is why my waistline hates me, and I need to get things under wraps instead of feeling like I need to make clothes with adjustable waistbands so they fit me at all my stages of fatness.
I've reached a point in my life where I might have to go up a size in my pair of pants.
Yeah, I don't like this feeling. So I'm like, what are you gonna do about
It's
this
all
kid?
because it's my butt, though. My butt is growing, and there's really nothing I can do about it.
Was it fat
It's
or muscle? Is it
well,
cellulite or striated?
no, it's I do a lot of walking and skating.
Okay, so if it's muscle, that's reasonable to like make the butt. But then you probably don't even need to go up a size. If the belly still fits, you just need to do a big butt adjustment.
I think that's what it is. My body's changing. I have skaters. Let's just say I have from the lower half. I have Nancy Kerrigan from the top half. I look like Tanya Harding now. Tanya
Oh
Harding
no.
now. Okay, so no joke, Kilroy. No joke. Um, I I'm from the land of BBL. People were getting BBLs when I was a baby gay in Hollywood 100 years ago. BBLs are nothing new,
No, but
but
didn't they used to just be injections of silicone and other fillers? They weren't like
it was
preformed
usually only
implants.
where I'm from. It was mainly trans women that got it, and now everybody gets BBLs. So what Kilroy is saying is true, and the reason I know this is because there's a very famous drag queen that's from LA who now lives in Las Vegas because they're on the RuPaul they're on the RuPaul plantation.
Right?
And oh, they're slaves. They're slaves
I
to
was gonna say on
RuPaul.
the farm of I
But that's a
know.
different story. But Kiana, if you ever get bored, Kahana Montrese, we are the same size. Look at his body. His butt sticks out a good foot from his body. He got a BBL. He got a real BBL. And I'm like, oh, and he shows it. And I'm like, couldn't you just work out?
Right. The
These
farthest I got to that was this morning. I was like, "Oh, this pillow is nasty. We just got some new ones. I should save it so I can make a old fashioned butt improver." Because for whatever reason, I was looking at the 2024 prior attire ball and bath, and it was like the 1850s to 68, which is a I don't love the fancy dress cop. Like, I don't want to look like a giant fucking cupcake.
I can see you dressed like that saying that.
I was like,
I
but with
can
black
see.
lace, like like right. I'll make it a little bit dark and goth. I'm not really. I don't know if I do steampunk. I just dark. Yeah, black lace, black this, black that. Speaking of black lace, the day that I got the this melon moire synthetic whatever an amazing deal of $4.20 as I fondle it. I picked up a bag that had black Rit dye because I think I showed a couple weeks ago when I went to the fabric shop in town the white lace panel, and I'm like, I might cut a little piece to make like a tiny lace sheath dress, but I think I'm gonna color the rest of it, dye the rest of it black because I'm not a white lace kind of human.
Can I ask you an honest question? Do you wear white?
Uh, very few and far between. The fact that I just made two pairs of white wrap pants is like dumb, but
Don't get a BBL until you can
you
squat 150. 250,
right,
kids. 250.
right for like reps. This is not like a 150. This is not a one rep max. Like you need to do 250 for
Yeah.
3 sets of 7. Oh shit.
I'd shock you in the gym. My skinny, I would shock you in the gym.
Is it LA?
You with your butt pad comment, Alibaba, you remind me like I need to get into the business of making I need to start making stuff for drag queens because they make so much money here in LA.
Right, all those fancy custom bits and the cutlets and the buttlets and the hiplets and the cod pieces.
And I'm telling you, those sewing challenges drive me insane because someone will be like, who will admit I don't know how to sew. The next day they show up with a freaking like $1 million dress. You had help. You had help,
No,
bro.
no,
You
they
had
did.
help.
I know what with the last season. One of the the woman, this sweet lady who is very particular about her equipment was saying how she made one of the costumes for them
That's
for one of
awesome.
the winner of last season. Let's see here, Kilroy. I just don't think having a shelf for an ass is a great look. You shouldn't be able to pour a gin and tonic on your ass while standing at attention. But isn't that like oh, I don't think the cart. Oh,
See, but it's
the
different if you
Cardi B. I
naturally
can't
have
do
it.
it from this light, and I probably don't want this on on the internet about being able to balance a cocktail on your back shelf. Like, it's
I have a
balanced.
shelf too. I'm not going to stand up, but I have a shelf. I
I
have
can.
a shelf.
I've been standing the whole time, but fortunately, this camera angle is like, no, you are not putting that on the internet tonight. So thanks, camera angle. Let's see here, Singer. No, this is Allie. My Singer improved manufacturer has a foot presser adjustment to not so tight. It can leave. Oh, it can leave a pad fluffed and sew the top fabrics together through the padding. What?
I need something like that because I made a bunch of pillows rookie style before I knew what I was doing, and I need something like that
What
because I
if
need
that's,
to.
but like, why would you need that setting to do that? Like, it, oh, sewing machines are such a story of what is fashionable. That, again, this example of like, this machine has this particular feature because butt pads were all the rage. And we needed to mass produce them. And,
But
oh,
people want giant Nagas nowadays, if you really think about it, and like,
right.
um,
And this clash with all of these things that have been, I think, bugging me, and I think niggling at many of us as I stare at bugs on the ceiling. But how historically we used to do that with clothing, but we've advanced so much in our medical, surgical technology, pharmacotherapy options that now we're like, oh, you want this? We can give you drugs and surgeries. Hey, butterfly.
hey, butterfly.
Um, words. Now we have like the science to like, you want this? We can make it happen. You want it to be like the circus sideshow lizard boy all tattooed up? Like, we've been able to do that for a while, but now we can do even more options.
But isn't like body modifications used to be illegal? Are they still?
No, because who, I'm gonna go with.
Because when I lived in Arizona, it was the only state. This was 20. Gosh, what year is it? 2020. This was 24 years ago 25 years ago when I lived in Arizona.
That's,
I went to
well, hopefully,
college.
butterfly, that we've given you enough enjoyment while that you're here listen that you haven't clicked off and are still listening.
And I'm
I hope.
almost done with my back patch on my vest.
Sweet, I've almost finished the one side of this strip of what will again be another narrow rolled hem, and then gathered, and then French seamed, and then cut strips of melon moire horrible beautifulness. The fabric is terrible, but the colors, like, I could not afford this in silk. But I have a crap ton of synthetic and I'll take it. Lizard Boy could now get implanted horns on the skull. I know we can do so much, right? That surface piercings and implanted horns and like prosthetic ear. Like, are we just making normal like?
I dated a young lady when I was younger. She actually was on Vogue. She was 5'10", so she was considered a tall person. She was an actual real model, and she got bolts put in the back of her neck,
Yeah,
like Frankenstein, like actual on
right.
her actual like
Neck. Yeah,
neck bone.
yeah.
I always thought it was weird. I'm not, but I'm one of those people who's like, do you? I'm gonna sit at home and make a blanket because I don't have
Right.
tattoos. I don't do piercings. I don't. I try not to judge though.
No, right. At all. See, and I think this gets back. I don't want to talk about this too long. Let's talk about Biden calling up the reserves and the IRR, which is the interesting part of that because calling up the reserves hasn't happened in a while, but and I'm gonna forget the independent reserve something, what the other R is, but folks who were recently enlisted and have somewhere between 6 to 8 years where they can be independently called up to active duty even though they've chosen to retire.
What about like my brother who did 21 years?
If you are past your 8 years of previous commitment, that it would not apply to you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Ooh, killer. Oh, joy, it's starting to cool off, but the humidity is now officially 80%. Not sure what's worse. Like, yeah. It's only, it's, we've moved the suck meter from here to here. And oh, speaking of French, my instructor didn't show up tonight on Lingoda, so I can hang out for a while. Well, awesome job
Yay!
learning French. I did not know that was work of yours. All commissioned officers can be recalled as well. Past 8 years. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so that it. Okay, thank you for learning me something. I think in this newest ordeal, they've been left alone, fortunately. It's just some
I can't believe I still have these things up.
reserves making them active, and then the IRR, a set number of the IRR. Tonight, I'd rather hear about French themes. Well, we did do some French themes. I did one. I'm sure I do see French themes in my future. Whether I get to, well, oh, we've got 2 hours. There might be some French themes at the end. I'm like, how much can I check in?
I'm just excited I finally finished something on stream.
Sweet.
Only took me 2 weeks to finish that back patch.
Oh my god. Okay, the world is lost and been creeped out. Let's see. Kilroy, you never cease to amaze me, human. I've seen people implant Raspberry Pi computers and Arduinos into themselves, and when I say themselves, they literally did all the work themselves because no professional would do it. The vest fits very nicely, they say. Butterfly USMC can be called up for 10 years, I think. Alright, so every branch has got a slightly different time frame. So, right, we don't know what specialists they're looking for because it was a smaller number of the IRR. And the only reason I'm bringing them up is because I've never heard this acronym in my whole life. Granted, I'm not from, well, I have no near family enough to apply to military. Well, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's too old or dead, or I'm not close enough, and I was too fat and too chicken or too dumb to volunteer my services. So,
Where's my headband? Since Butterfly's here, I'll try this back on.
oh, Ellie says the vest goes with the shorts.
Those are my swim trunks. I love my swim trunks. They're good lazy wear. And I was dancing in the
No, you
kitty
look
pool.
like Tyson coming out for a fight. You're like, you got to put your fighter do 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 do
I
do.
look like
I don't know what
Spock.
your fight music, what you want it to be. That was I just.
I love my Star Trek. This morphed into something with the headband. I love it. I absolutely love this combo. If it wasn't for me watching the Dick Cavett show, I would have never known about Lucy's coat, and I have fallen in love with Lucille Ball's coat. So I'm all about the 1970s style right now.
There's right. Um, let's see here, Allie. I know 80 plus Canadian military get called up for commission consultant work, even. Oh my goodness. Oh, 80-year-old folks. They must have some impressively specialized knowledge if they need to tap into those individuals. And why didn't you train somebody who could do that 40 years ago? Or 20? Didn't you have redundancy? Well, I guess we don't have redundancy. Oh, oh God.
Butterfly, that My carpet, that actually was the first edition in the House of Sewing. I knew somebody who would compulsively order things and not really know what they were doing. The mystery of how the shag carpet got into the studio is kind of a mystery. I don't care, but I took it home. I took it home. People argued over. They're like, "Where's the shag carpet?" I said, "I don't know. I don't care. This is mine." So yes, it is avocado green.
It's perfect. I keep thinking about to do little improvements and whether to put some of the colors of my living space back to what they traditionally would have been, because there's some unique design and architectural features that are just original.
This
Not
room
that
I
I would,
dedicate
but
to all my tacky stuff. Like it's okay to be tacky. I think we spend so much time trying to be prim and proper and formed. I'm saying as a species, it's okay to wear mismatched things every once in a while.
especially socks. Unless you're doing something that your socks particularly need to match, or like you're wearing tights, like it's
Oh.
okay to
So
not wear the
this
same
is
socks.
every partner I've ever had. It drives them crazy. I don't care what kind of. I will just grab two socks out of the drawer. If it's a wool sock and a freaking cotton sock, I don't care.
Oh, yeah,
It drives people crazy.
I'm not that. I generally like them to be the same style, but yeah.
Thank you, butterfly. Thank you.
Oh, a spider caught a bug, and I'm distracted. Sorry, folks. Circle of life.
My
Okay,
entire. Oh, sorry.
I'm ooh, a big hardwood floors person. I hate carpet. I breathe a lot worse in space with carpet. I know. I want to. That's one of my biggest gripes is this carpet sitch.
In my house, I have tile that looks like wood.
I'm all right for that like faux laminate shit that is like sticks as tape, or that's like the jigsaw puzzle kind. Like I will.
I
I'll do
I love my tile floors, but in here, like I turned it. This room is like it. I will tell you though, carpet does absorb the smell, so my shag carpet smells like legal pot.
I I don't think I could do. I need. I don't like stuff that's super cold on my feet. I need something in the middle, like that synthetic or the wood snapping stuff.
I
Tile's too cold,
actually
and it's a danger to my dishes. I broke too many dishes on tile.
that is true. My floor is unforgiving. You drop anything on my floor.
It's floor 100, object 0.
That's why everything has otter boxes. Like my son, well, he's graduated to an actual computer, so he doesn't walk around with it as much. But his old tablet, that thing had a professional box on it. The shag rake. You know what's really funny? I think because I grew up right at the end of all that stuff, I'm really nostalgic for a lot of it. So when I saw the shag carpet, I was like, no one's gonna appreciate this but me. I'm taking it right now.
Fair. And it's oh my god, but then you do need to be careful because that is like a pin hider. My carpet at least is low pile, and generally, unless it's a needle, I see stuff that's poking out of it. Though I we do yell hot potato sometimes. I need fuzzy bunny slippers. What just happened? Oh, for me, my feet being on. Oh, ouch. And cats could attack, play with them.
Okay, so that kind of works and it doesn't.
But yeah,
Because I had a half Rottweiler, half Doberman Pinscher that I raised, and we used to play with him with kitty slippers, and he like no cat was safe in my yard. So no cat came within 100 feet of my house. So that kind of backfired because my dog hated all cats.
yeah.
So you have to. We thought we were playing with him. We were training him.
When fun goes bad. Oh, that I. I think ceramic versus wood, wood snapping stuff. Okay, Kilroy, what do we have to say? That reminds me of a house I was in once. Somebody decided that instead of putting up wallpaper or painting the walls, they were gonna put shag carpet on the walls. It was disgusting. Hey, don't knock the. Hey, they might have been Slavs. They're used to putting up fancy wool braided, wool woven rugs on the walls. Sometimes, some folks, I think that there's other cultures besides mine Slavs put rugs on the walls and call it art. And
I know quite a few people that have actually done that. It is though. I agree with you, Kilroy. I'm extremely judgmental, so I agree with you.
I mean, a shag carpet. I mean, that's. But maybe they were the
Oh
those were
man.
the Gopniks. Squats
Oh,
on toes, break your bones. Squats on heels. I forgot the rest of it. But squat on your heels, kids. Don't squat on your toes. We know that's how they know the Western spies. If you squat on your toes. Oh, Ellie says pink fuzzy bunny slippers. I bet you don't have those types around your place, I'm fairly sure. You are correct. I absolutely 100% do not own currently a pair of pink fuzzy bunny slippers.
we have now reached the tortoise beach towel part of the stream. It's so hot in here. I'm just gonna wear it. It's so.
So we're just back to being a fighter. See, this coat is your fighting coat, butterfly. Let's see. Okay, okay. I'm ready to take about 10 inches off a satin formal. All right, I pray for you. You can do this. Any tips? It will just be a shirt tail hem with lining. So you have to hem both pieces separately, or are they? Well, okay. Are there? Do you have to take 10 inches off of each of two separate pieces? To I pray for you for all whatever you pray or not to pray. May all of the goodness be with you on your adventure, and
It okay. So if
mark
you
it
don't
with
want to,
take
what?
your hem guide and mark it with chalk and leave yourself a little bit extra and baste it if you can to do a fit check and then finish it.
Exactly. I pin everything and then try it on, and I cut nothing. So I'll pin like after I make my initial cuts, I'll pin everything and then see if it fits before I do any sewing or cutting.
The shag on the walls was soundproofing. That could be a possibility. Allie Kilroy. Well, it wasn't disgusting by itself. It was disgusting because it was literally never washed or vacuumed. That is a separate issue, and do concur. Apologies, Allie. No, I mean you won't be training the cats to attack pink bunnies. They're attached with a slit up the front. Oh, so they were like serged together as one, then just if they were just serged and not nicely finished, just serge and not nicely finished. But that's not nice.
Well, I have a rule that like if it's on the inside, you can make it as gnarly as you want, as long as your corners are nice. Like
Right. So were they serged together or bag lined?
I still make mistakes to this day all the time. That's my middle name is mistake.
Right.
Are you kidding me? I have a seam ripper on every table in this room.
I am sure I do have one, but I do have nippers and scissors. Let's see there. Italian. That would be bad 25 years in the shag of Ick in the Shag. Yeah, Allie, that sounds gross. Hey,
Hey,
Ziggy.
Ziggy.
Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Sorry I'm late. I just got finished walking 8 miles. Congratulations on walking 8 miles. That's more steps than I've taken today. So I no, where's my camera? I hearts you.
That's awesome, Ziggy.
I'm
I'm
so
all
good.
about getting up, moving around.
I know, that's why I like to sew at this machine, because I have to stand up. So in my head, I'm like, I'm moving my hand and I'm standing. Doesn't that count as a little bit of exercise? I know it doesn't, but
Because I come from a really, I'm the youngest of a really old family. I've watched people who are extremely healthy, and as I get older, they gain exponentially. I finally finished my back patch, and I'm gonna show it for the third time.
oh, well, okay, hold on one second here. Welcome, welcome, welcomes. The lining is about an inch and a half shorter. Oh, right. So is it just like a rule? Just then keep the same proportions and just throw in a quick like double fold hem and be done with each of the two halves. Let's see here. Ellie says roll the outer fabric over to the inner lining. You will have to seam rip up the bottom and then cut the inner to the 10-inch, but the top fabric more to roll over. Oh, so give yourself extra on the top because you're going to need to roll it over to finish the hem. More welcomes, more welcomes. Everyone's welcome at the circus. Let's see here. Ziggy has what we were working on. It's been a while, so I am working on more of these orange gathered shenanigans to let me move stuff around. Go onto this leg
Ooh.
of my Pluderhosen, which are these going to be ridiculous pants, shorts things, because I needed some more layers. And then the other leg, which I'm not going to get to this part tonight because there's going to be rhinestones and glue and stuff. This will be next week. Goes in this horizontal direction with these alternating horizontal stripes of fabric. But I also need some more, but there's going to be shenanigans happening. And
And I'm dressed as Spock from the voyage home. I'm only gonna have it on for a minute because it's really hot in here.
they wouldn't stop talking, and I'm still wearing this, and I'm
No, I love this
grumpy.
thing though. I'm gonna wear this to the beach. When you guys see me like in a viral video, when someone's trying to make fun of me, I made this and it's beautiful.
You did make it, and it is beautiful. But right now I'm just putting rolled hems into these or melon colored strips, and then once all of the rolled hems are on, we'll take our trusty gathering foot and gather. It's so funny. I was like, oh, the fancy ruffling foots are going to be the jam. But with all the inconsistencies, I kind of like the shove it in and stitch method versus the foot for that job. I know that was kind of weird. Those colors are nice. Thank you. Yes, I like that pinkish over the green. Oh, my colors must not be coming out because I think it's lavender over the green. Well, I'm biased. I like ruffles too. I know. I didn't think I was. I do love my ruffle feet, but the stuff it and ruffle versus the pre-programmed ruffle lengths. I don't know. Oh, never mind.
Thank you, butterfly. I try to line everything with something louder than the color that's actually on the outside. I weirdly got that idea from fancy like Italian suit coats. You'll
Oh yeah,
have
they're
this like
always the inside is it's the testament of a nice garment is not what the outside looks like, but is how beautifully the inside is,
oh
in
yeah.
my opinion.
I love the Italian handkerchief look on the inside. Like when I say handkerchief, it's just the design that's on a handkerchief.
Right. Oh, that material doesn't ruffle nice. It slips so much. Slip. It slips too much in the ruffler. Nice. Fair. That okay. So I'm not being grumpy by like why I like the gather and stuff method better with this fabric.
I told
It's
you
real.
when I was making drapes and working with the drape material, I was like, I will never work with this again. It was so stringy. Like every time I'd cut it, it was just oh, it was the worst.
But
What
now we're
you wear?
talking about fancy London high streets. Savile Row does the lining wildness too. Yeah, because sometimes you're like, I have to be uphold this like perfect prim and proper outside world, but on the inside I'm like, rawr.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I actually have a few suit coats that are it's just navy blue or black, and on the inside it's a party.
Ooh, paisley is nice for linings. Ziggy Kilroy reminds me of that Seinfeld episode with the leather jacket that had the white and pink striped lining.
I miss that show, but I can't watch the reruns yet. It's kind of like The Simpsons. If I've seen it a million times, I can't watch the reruns.
I kind of need to go back. I kind of am ready to rewatch The Simpsons from the beginning and then get caught up with all the years recently I haven't seen. That and South Park too, because I'm seeing a lot of old clips come up of like them making interesting commentary about things that were not a thing when they were making jokes about them.
Simpsons are more like predicting weirdly predicting things. South Park goes after everybody.
Yeah, right. And they I think because they've cast a wide net, they've had some interesting, like, I called that shit moments. Like, hey, future, hold my beer.
The Simpsons are crazy. I don't, you know, I'm very skeptical when it comes to a lot of those things, but the Simpsons have weirdly predicted a lot of things. But you know, it doesn't take much when you just look at society and like, okay, it's going to go in this direction. You know,
Right. And then just having the chesticle cojones to make jokes about the future. And they've been pretty good predictors.
I'm going to tell you, I haven't watched The Simpsons since probably '02, so
Oh,
I have a lot of catching up to do.
I
I
think,
watched the movie. That's about it. When the dome, I bought the movie
yeah,
because I'm
it's,
obsessed.
I intermittently watched The Simpsons since then, but it's been a hot minute. But they need to accept it's over and throw in the towel. It's a legit zombie show. Ooh, that's too bad. And Allie says, well, with the old sewing machine stuff, I have chatted with a couple of London shop tailors and shoemakers. Also, the last Royal Warrant glove manufacturer. I'm lucky they seek out me out. I yes, you are a very sought after human, and I from the deepest pits of my cold heart say thank you that someone with such knowledge and talent and expertise comes to hang out with little old me at the circus full of the clowns.
I feel the same way. I've learned more about the machines I own from Alibaba than anyone else.
I feel so touched and like you
I take
my
pictures like
cold
last
heart
week.
has expanded 6 hearts this day.
Last week when I was taking those pictures, I was like, I hope Alibaba's in the chat. I hope Alibaba sees because I had never I've only seen sewing machines with lions on them in pictures. I'd never seen one in person.
Right. And between the sewing machine knowledge and knowledge of sewing, like, because some folks know how to about a machine, but they couldn't sew worth shit except to like do some samples to be like, okay, this machine sews, get it out of the
Still weird
workshop.
to me. It's still weird to me. I'm gonna tell you, as a sewer, like I didn't know there was a difference between people who collected sewing machines and people who sewed.
You're welcome. I hope you're blushing and pinching yourself because I appreciate you that much, human. And now you're gonna make me be all rosy cheeked and teary eyed. So stop it.
No, I need Kilroy in my life for the time. One time I said no cap and you called me out. I need you to grab my foot every once in a while and pull me back down to earth. Every once in a
Oh,
while, just grab my foot and be like, no, we're down here. We're down here.
Oh, nope, I'm only on the first line of hemming the second sides. I thought I was farther along. But we got time. We got time.
That reminds me, I still have to finish my. Should I? I'm in this weird like cargo pocket phase. Should I put pockets on my coat?
No.
I know we're.
Do you know how I feel about pockets? I'm
I'm like torn. I'm like 50-50. And cargos are so convenient. So one day I could see how someone was like, just put squares on the pants. Call it a day.
right and
Put buttons on it.
expandable, so you can put your smokes, your radio, your extra clip, your this, your that. Like, I get it, but I don't want to look that chunky. Oh, butterfly! I can't wait until we can have a sewing retreat in London. Oh, and Allie, it is a fun stream. Great being here. Oh, thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad. And don't make me feel clamped on stream. The sewing machines are working great tonight. The coat in the background now? No. Okay, so there we've got views of no pocket, no extra pockets if you're putting coats on the pocket on your
All
mannequin.
right. I
So
do like
the,
the
the,
it weirdly has a Matrix look too because it doesn't have the collar. You're right. You're right. You're right. I'm obsessed with sewing, so I'm like, this thing needs pockets, and I'm gonna add lining over here for no reason.
there's always a reason for lining. It's just pockets. But if you can't wear a backpack, is wearing a man bag, crossbody, or a fanny pack more acceptable, that you could have pocket alternatives? Because pockets are dumb sometimes.
Backpack, like okay, so I'll tell you another reason why. Like, if you go into like Isaiah and I went to we go to the zoo, you would be smoking drugs if you thought you could walk into the zoo with a backpack on. They search you.
Right. Well,
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
where I
so a
live,
backpack is too big, but like a lady can carry a purse or a diaper bag. What's the acceptable alternative size sacked satchel that you can carry
that's
around?
a good question. That's a good question. Like it's more. I don't know. I always considered that front satchel a purse, but I'm not anti-purse either.
Right, just call it a diaper bag again.
Oh, I missed the diaper bag. Oh.
Oh, butterflies on the pockets parade. Ellie says the clean lines of the cover right now is great. Pockets would take away from that look. I concur. Ziggy is a pockets person, but I don't like them on the outside. I like them when they're hidden. That's true. You could be fancy and do inside hidden pockets in the lining, but you probably should have done that. You could still do it now, but it wouldn't be as
You'd
easy
see
to
it
do it.
on the outside. I used to
No,
always
you
do that.
just sew it into the lining fabric and not the outer fabric. So it's like the inside.
Oh, yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm not on. You know, like you got your outside pocket and then your inside pocket.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
A
did
hidden pocket on
weirdly
the inside, right? But
I have a weird collection of shirt pockets too that I cut out of old shirts that I was like redoing the
so
design.
then, oh my God, just hand stitch that nicely if you've got enough seam allowance onto the inside lining of the fabric so it doesn't show on the outside. And then you could have a secret hidden pocket on the inside and not disrupt the lines on the outside. Because if you need a pocket that bad, just put it on the inside. Like a secret agent, like Ziggy said. See,
It's 100 something at our zoo, man. Like I wear shorts and something like this at the zoo because it's always so hot.
oh, just don't wear the
Man,
big coat to the zoo. That's funny.
the LA Zoo is weirdly on a hill, and so you're walking uphill through most of the zoo.
Shush up. Everywhere I look, there's a hill in my town.
I live in the weird flatland part of LA, so when I go into the heart of LA, I'm like, why are we walking uphill? All of Los Angeles is on a hill. All of it is on oh. San Francisco is the worst for that though. They built that entire city on a cliff.
Oh, that was them making poor choices with their resources.
I do like the secret agent look. I just need somewhere to put my keys.
So just put it on the inside pocket, or you could put it on the inside and then be super fancy and put like a D clip or an O ring, so you could clip them in there so that you'd know that they would stay in your secret pocket.
That is true. But I wear my keys like the school janitor
I know you
anyway.
do, because you're right. You talk about your keys. That doesn't work with our ideas of like pretty and slender. The key
This
ring
I wear. Oh, I have so
is
much crud in here.
this. Oh,
I wear this on my hip because I'm crazy.
it's as big as the sewing machine journal. That's not the right words for this part. The turny bit of my Brunhilde.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna need a tech intervention. I have too much technology in this room. And if you saw how many Macintoshes, if you saw how many Macs I have in here, you would laugh at me. Like Apple owns me. I'm gonna like turn my foot over to see if there's an apple on the bottom of my foot.
You mean you didn't implant it into your so you could like just swipe your wrist over it at the iPay station at the Scrumply Dunks?
No, but the goggles, those new Apple goggles scare me because they make them to replace everything. So I have over 9 or 10 Apple devices in this room. If I was to buy those goggles, I could literally condense everything into the goggles. I don't want that.
Yeah,
I know
I don't want
someone
to be
who
that much controlled. Don't put me all into that one little goggles. I need all the goggles.
someone I know who used to work for Apple, the actual Apple. Excuse me, he explained it like to all the 5-year-olds on Facebook how the goggles are going to replace all your Apple technology. So 5 years from now, I'm going to be driving with some stupid goggles on my face, and I think they're
No,
dumb.
that's their
And I'm
prototype before they put the little temporal beads that are going to be like 1 centimeter across into your temporal area, because that's where all the implants on all the shows are going. They're
I thought it
like
was the back of the
happening.
hand, like they say in the Biblia.
I mean, maybe for paying, you're going to use your wrist. Maybe you need two. Like, here's where I pay, where I get my social credit score, and here's where you're going to download all the stuff that you're going to tell me that I'm supposed to believe, and all
That
your
is
bullshit.
that is a Doctor Who episode. When they rob a bank in the future and everybody has clip chips in their heads. Everybody. So he goes and gets people who are from the past to help him rob this
Right,
bank.
and Black Mirror has got a lot. Every chip is in the. There. I feel like we're being groomed to such an overused word right now, but we're
It
being
is.
prepared for some. But it's kind of. I'm going to go with it in this instance. Oh, let's see here. Kilroy, I hope Apple goggles completely fail. Yeah.
They're
And
supposed to
then
take
it
over
says,
everything.
imagine the 1970s, those goggles would take up a small house of electronics to operate. I know, right? My whole house is the server that would prepare those. Allie Kilroy. They're priced to fail. None of the tech magazines expected the Apple goggles price to be as high as it is.
They're like
Right,
three
and
grand.
these things are so expensive. Ziggy, I am being dragged kicking and screaming to get more tech for my little business because people have abandoned cash.
Okay, so
It is that's a
Ziggy,
goal.
I carry cash.
Silver and gold, silver and gold.
I still spend large amounts of cash, and I think it's weird that people don't. That's why I always complain about how the younger generation doesn't know how to count.
But oh, let's see here. I mean, what do I? I know, and it's so funny because people have been like debanked on platform, on Cash App, on different payment services. What would Stripe? I don't know if no Stripe is Stripe PayPal. I I think there is that funny balance of needing to be progressive and accessible in an ever-changing commodities exchange market platform, and then being safe. I don't know if I have the right answer for that. That felt very
I'm
loquacious. I'm sorry, that was not at an eighth grade reading level answer.
I will be the last person on earth still spending cash putting gas in my motorcycle while people are in their flying cars with chips in their heads.
Oh yeah, I don't like. Ellie says they don't like the abandonment of cash. I I don't necessarily either. But then, are we gonna say like I don't like the abandonment of going off the gold standard either? But then we're in for a much bigger discussion. Oh, but I don't know what Ellie's thinking. Let's see here. I saw a person asking kids how many dimes are in a dollar, and they couldn't answer. It is
Ugh,
what is the 5 cent or 10? Oh no, 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 no! This is this. Oh, I.
that's what I'm saying. That drives me
Oh
mentally
God,
insane
right,
that I live in La La Land and I can still count with my eyes closed.
right. The kids aren't going to be able to pass the clock exam either. Oh, Ziggy, exactly. I have to get a point of sale system to sell merch at the AUS meetup. A point. Can you do? I use Square, and I think you can just get the thing where they tap it. That's what I've been using for a gajillion years. Whether it's the best or not, I don't know, but I've been using Square for point of sales transactions, and mm, I'm
Gilroy.
glad you get to go to the meetup, though. I'm super excited for you because I don't know when I'm going to be on a plane again. Let's see here. Oh, there's laughing. You're right. I will be in my 90s, and people will be telling me you still use checks. I agree about the gold standard. Right. I know. Girl Bears like tainted me and learned me, and it was all an accident. Mm.
See, right now,
But
like that's the whole
no,
thing about
hold on one
crypto.
second. Here,
Go
repeat
ahead.
what you said, and then I've got a comment.
Oh, the whole
So,
thing about crypto is that
what I
you
was
can't back up, you can't back it up. Like the dollar, whether you love it or hate it, I know it'll still be worth $1 tomorrow.
I was gonna say, Ziggy, I wonder if Wix, because I've seen that. What's the one that all the YouTubers are showing a different? Some of the hosting sites have got payment integrated with it, so there might be a way that Wix does. Maybe there's a. That's not my platform, but there might be a way that that's integrated into your stuff. Just YouTube it. I'm sure there's a video that might tell you. Let's see here. Kilroy. And honestly, for a lot of people who live in areas with a lot of theft, carrying cash is an extreme liability, so they don't do it. That is true too. Oh, sweet. You're going to the Alabama one in a couple weeks. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's true. You are in a drivable distance. But
Kira, we have a saying: as long as you're not Mr. or Mrs. Los Angeles, you'll be okay. So as long as you're not showing off and throwing money in the air, or like, I'll tell you where I live. Like, I don't wear jewelry. My mom buys me a watch every year. I'll wear it around her just to just to be nice. But like, I wouldn't wear jewelry. People don't wear jewelry in the city. You'll never see anyone dressed like Mr. T in the middle of the city. With their chains on.
oh my giant gold chains.
It's all for a video. They're just showing off for a video. They're like, okay, I'll tell you, like when I go in Las Vegas or even in the city, I put my wallet in my front pocket. There's certain protocol, you know.
Oh, you spent all day. What if you what's my words? You shoot Viva for his merch site. How? Oh no, does he just use third party vendors? See what Viva is doing for that. If you have a way to communicate with him, because he seems helpful and human. I'd query Viva. Let's see here. Ellie, when comparing past prices to today's currency, I use the gold standard, sort of. They had a 5, 10, and 20 gold coins and go by that. Exactly. Until they were like the chipping and the trimming and the quartering and the eighthing.
Did you ever hear about the Crypto Six?
That's not a crypto band I've heard of, I don't think, of my
No,
crypto
there's 6 people.
scoundrels.
They basically got arrested for peddling crypto. They're all libertarians. They're on this radio station, and I completely and utterly think libertarians are just strange people. But basically, they were on the forefront of crypto, and the government they couldn't find any good charges. So you can look it up. Her name's Aria DeMezzo. She got 10 months in a federal prison just for ticking off the government. They kicked in their front doors, they raided their houses. It was bad. And I'm not even pro crypto. But these people all got put in jail just because they ticked off, because they scared the government, because that they thought that currency was going to replace the dollar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in a matter of principle, government doesn't. Yeah, no, government, you should step out of your stuff. Hey, human, Allie, they had specific weights then and calculate the amount in like 1882, and then use the dollar amount in weight to our modern price per ounce. That makes way more sense. They go through third party suppliers. Okay, so that's not the best question. Or, well, I mean, there must be some way that, like, is there a way to sync up a Cash App or a PayPal into your website to, like, sync it all that you could? Oh, but you need the device for the pay per service, pay the POS system to be able to take money at the thing.
I've been audited,
Oh, you need this
Ziggy.
like
It's ulcer inducing. I've been audited. I went from being extremely broke to being middle class overnight, and 6 months later, I got an audit.
humans. Stop derailing the chat with songs, but I'm glad the chat's enjoying human and old songs. Yeah, honestly terrified of all the TLAs agencies, but we don't need to talk about my fears tonight.
Especially because I'm sitting in a room of tapped technology. But if you think about it, we talk about this all the time. Like if you think about it, like if I constantly say prime rib, I'm gonna go on my phone and it's gonna try to sell me prime rib.
Right.
It's listening. We all know it's listening.
Okay, let's see here. Ziggy, I think I'm thinking I might be able to do it for my tablet and just put the orders through my website on site if I can't figure out the POS thingy. That would work. Or if worst comes to worst, as long as you've got a thing that says place your orders at the website through your own device and maybe give like a little that Oh, just have a QR code and be like, make your purchases at the website with this QR code that you can scan in my thingy. That's my newest braingasm for you. Oh, human. Oh, good, I'm synced up with the moment. Minus 30 seconds for July. Oh, Vicky, I'm sorry. I would. Oh, no.
The government is
I,
not.
yeah.
They're
There's,
not.
yeah.
There's been twice where I've had to deal with federal agents and like the IRS counts. They do not play. They do not. But I wasn't in the wrong, and the lies I told weren't anything enough to put me in jail. And I'm talking about when I lived in Portland, because they don't tax you until the end of the year. So it's different. Oregon has different state taxes. I thought I was getting audited for that, but it was because I went from being poor to middle class.
Oh, I'm glad I was able to have that braingasm for you, Ziggy. And Allie says the POS terminal would also add cost to the bottom line. I don't think they're worth it at this point. That's true, because all those companies take an extra cut. So to minimize how many cuts you're having to give off the top from like, I need to pay this server, I need to pay this service, I need to pay this service. So, yeah, I think that's my idea for you. Having a QR code where they just go to the website and you can manage it the way you always do.
I'm literally taking notes again, Alibaba. Oh,
Who doesn't?
what should I make next? I really don't know what to make next. And I know this is crazy.
Wait, Dad, you thought, what's your, do you have your power, oh, I'm gonna get it, whatever your cosplay Power Ranger outfit, are you still doing that? Do you have that made? Does the family have Halloween costumes? Because if
It's
not, you need to
not,
get
it's
started.
more I have everything, but it's more of a matter of me not I just need to do more push-ups. I need to get rid of my
So
dad
you
bod.
don't fit, you got a costume, but you don't fit into it, is what you're
Well,
saying.
it's kind of like my captain. Okay, so I have a Star Trek uniform. When I put it on, it lets me know what parts of my body I need to work on because it's so tight. It's the Captain Kirk era.
Right.
No, I
If you're
am.
not tiered out.
That's right, Ziggy. I forgot about that. That's the whole reason I made that coat, but I turned it into something else. I am gonna do a step-by-step duster. I forgot about that.
Okay, so if you do that, then maybe, oh, I keep saying I'm gonna make pre-records, and I feel like I lie every time because I never do. I show up for my live stream, and I film a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't take the time to edit into this like beautifully curated, manicured video, even though I have all the footage.
It's not a bad idea, Alibaba. That's not a bad idea. I actually
An
have like
umbrella for the pool.
giant umbrellas. I just don't think I have the weights.
The what? The weights?
They're made for either the beach or being put in between those tables, those glass tables with the giant hole, but you have to have a weight at the bottom of the
Oh, so
umbrella.
you mean you need a hole for your umbrella pool?
No, I got the hole. I just need the weight to hold it up.
Isn't that the umbrella part that
No,
like
I have
holds
the
it up
whole
with the weight?
umbrella, but there's a separate piece at the bottom, that you pour sand into or water into, so the umbrella doesn't jerk around.
Oh,
Because you need a counterweight.
because you can't have your pole flapping around.
No, it's bad form. It's bad form when you have your pole flapping around.
It's,
You never want to explain to your neighbor why your pole's in their backyard.
no, you don't.
That's not,
Bad
and
form.
I'm not kidding you. The neighbor behind me has lived for a good 4 or 5 years now, and we've never met each other.
I've got neighbors like that too, and it feels weird. Like I at least try to like say hello and like even if there's neighbors I don't know their names, and it feels weird because I always knew my neighbors' names, but at least I like attempt to engage. Oh, okay. Ziggy is jealous. Ziggy of the Star Trek costume, of course. Allie is like at the bottom of the Christmas tree. Right, the big like fatty weighted part. I'm getting laughed at. Till we have to do that. Okay. Even my own human is like calling me out. Okay, I get it now. I get it. Like I put for my bauble tree, I need to put the big rocks so the tree branch stays aloft and
Exactly.
doesn't fall over because it's got to be like thick at the bottom. It could be wobbly at the top, but it's got to be thick at the bottom. I
I just
get
don't
it.
I don't remember what I did with any of the base because I have so much stuff in this house. Like I just don't remember. I'm sure it's somewhere around here. I just have to find the base. And I don't like pulling things out unless they're 100% complete.
Well, you're gonna have to get over that because you got to pull out a whole bunch of parts to find the completeness.
Exactly, that's the problem.
Let's see here, Ziggy. We basically live on a family compound. Son on one side, mother-in-law and sister-in-law on the others. That must be a blessing and a curse,
It's kind of like that. Well, my mom lives close, and it's a blessing and a curse. Like this morning, it was a beautiful thing.
right? Because you were like kid to church. Hey, mama, see ya.
No, I woke up and I looked at my phone, and it was like, "Don't be shocked. I took your kid to church," and I rolled right back over. I was like, "Thank you. I'm not even going to respond to your text."
Right? Because she's in church. You don't want to text her in
Nope.
church and be the a-hole who like interrupts service because her phone's getting going off.
And I don't have to go. See, that was another thing. Like he wanted to go with my mom, and like I'm not. Man, that's PTSD.
Oh, my phone's on the other side of the room, so I can't screen grab Kilroy. I'll pull it up for myself for a second. This shot I saw on screen, it's got to be thick at the bottom. It's got to be thick at the bottom. Oh, now there's inner chat mingling. Yay, chat having chatty conversations.
I love that.
I do
There's,
too, because I've got to get back to this narrow world him because I've got another
I'm not.
panel and then the gathering to do. I got a lot of sewing to do.
Speaking
Nora,
of The Simpsons, when I woke up this morning, I had this total like Homer Simpson thing of like, everyone's gone, and I don't smoke in my house. But let me tell you, I am mad. I smoked a cigar on the couch, and no, I don't smoke in my house.
especially you don't smoke a cigar. You just like hold it like Barnes in your hand and just like roll it between your fingers.
You kind of
You don't.
taste it. You puff on a cigar, you know.
Oh, Ziggy, you're so sweet. We do. The circus has the best chat on the internet. I know every streamer says they've got the best chat, but here at the circus, I have to say I'm gonna put my glazed donut costumey circus clown face on to say we have the best chat here at the circus. How much is occupied by humans? Oh, I'm reading random chats. That's an inner chat.
I'm in a few communities where the chat is so toxic. I don't say anything. I just like watching the stream.
I Well, a lot of times I just can't be bothered to like sit and chat and watch the chat, or I need to like sometimes I have stuff to do and I just like to watch a stream and not be in the chat. But I don't mind being involved in my chat or our chat, the Monday chats.
Well, like that's the one. That's the whole reason when I like defected, got excommunicated, whatever you want to call it. That was my whole thing. Like there are no restrictions besides don't be mean to each other. You know, and don't like get so political that we hate each other and don't talk to each other.
We could get some old guy in a movie and chew on a cigar. I'm sure I have a human who would chew on a cigar if, but we're
I
not
love that
promoting
look.
that. Well, we
That
can do
look
it if we
actually
want,
scares
but
people. When you're sitting there chewing on a cigar, that look scares people.
you look like you have beaver teeth. Oh, Ziggy agrees. Sometimes it gets nasty and mean. I know, that's so horrible. Horses need room. Oh, there's chat stuff. Kilroy, sometimes you just want to watch a complete shit show of a chat. Fair. I don't do
There.
that.
Okay, so there's a YouTuber, and I'm gonna say her name. Her name is Amy Newman. She's an atheist YouTuber, so go at your own, go at your own risk.
Enter at your own risk.
But I about once every 6 months I subscribe and unsubscribe to her because she debates theists, but it's always like the crazy guy who wouldn't be allowed in the church anyways. And her chat is a dumpster fire. And every 6 months, I'm like, this is crap. Why do I watch this? And then I resubscribe. Because it'll be like,
are you like hate watching or like
I don't hate
trauma
any.
watching?
I like train wreck conversations sometimes, and like, I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. Because I'm not here to argue about religion. I'm not here to be mean to anyone about anything. So when I see people arguing, I'm like, this is so inconsequential, but it's interesting.
Right. And you know what I think in response to Kilroy's stuff comment about watching a shit show? I think like some of the there's a difference like watching the chat stream of like us who is like not we're small but mighty. We throw up the velvet ropes at 100 in the chat, so get in early and claim your spot. Versus like Emily D. Baker or Rackets who have tens of hundreds of thousands of people in the chat and it goes by so fast. Like, how do you even read it? Like, that's just too big for me. I just fuck that no. Racket's chat is insane. I hate, dude. Kilroy hates debate bros. And like, you've been down this street 10,000 times before. You weren't doing anything new. Get over it and move on. I know. Sometimes you just gotta know when to throw in the towel. Like, know when to hold on.
I think that's really what it is. I look at them like an anthropological study. Like when I find a Betamax at a thrift store, I'm like, they still make you? You still exist, bro? Like, how did you get here?
Somebody cared and didn't know what you were.
What?
Throw you out.
It's because I've traveled around, I've had a passport, I've been all kinds of places, and I didn't realize how sheltered I was until I got on the internet. Like, I existed on a certain plane and people don't. It's weird to me. But Kilroy's 1,000% correct. I don't like the debate me bro crowd because they beat the same horse and then they end up fighting each other, hating each other over artificial strife. They made it up.
Oh, no human. Loki, you could share a picture of Loki, but I didn't make you a moderator because I'm not a horrible human, but the only blue wrench in my chat is Alibaba because I don't know why.
Alibaba comes with the facts. It's all right.
Right, they've got the best websites to share. I should make a few more moderators, but I don't like the chats where like all the chatters, the regulars are all blue renters because it feels like it's some weird exclusive club
Okay.
of chatters, and I don't like that feel. I don't know.
I know what you're saying, but someone I watch who's kind of a debate me bro kind of said it, and I kind of live by this. I give blue wrenches to people who come to my chat every week. Because what is the point of a moderator if I'm yakking my face off and some weirdo comes in the chat? That's why they're there. They're part of the stream, so they're there to chop that person down, you know?
Yeah, it's okay.
So
Point noted. I haven't made a decision yet, but point taken.
because they're there that's why I like, if you that's my thing. And plus, like, I have zero tolerance towards trolls. All the Christian trolls have really backed away from me in the past 6 months, which is really cool. But they used to follow me around. I have zero tolerance. I would instantly be like, you guys are so mad at me just for living my life. Goodbye.
Yeah, I haven't found the people who hate me that much to troll me except for my own human, and it's been 20 years, so I signed on to that deal. So that ship is sailed.
My haters, you know what? My haters, I respect my haters though, because a lot of them take it to my DMs, and I respect that because I won't out some people. There's a few people who don't like me, but I respect them because they curse me out in my DMs at least.
Oh, this is a good point, Kilroy. This is the Stitch and Bitch show, not the Stitch Bitch and Do Admin show. That is this your way of asking for a blue wrench, Kilroy? Maybe I'll give you a blue wrench, honey. Oh, Ziggy, I kind of agree with you on that. Godless, and I'm not a wrench on America's Untold Stories, but I try to be kind and help with any questions and trolleys too. Right? Daily Dove, the workaround is to post a link to a picture site with Loki on it. Here, I'm gonna BRB because I need to BRB. Hold the fort for me.
I'll hold it. Oop, me move that. It is so hot in here. Alexa, what's the temperature right now?
Right now, it's 94 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, it's gone down 6 degrees. That's awesome. It's only 94 here in Southern California. Oh, my camera is still going. So behind me, that is a Panasonic from like 2010 or 20. I don't even know. I wanted to be a stringer. It's obsolete by today's standards, so I hooked the cords up to the television. So I'm gonna do a duster tutorial. Oh, I was gonna say this earlier. I think I'm gonna retire my Mimi G pattern. I think it's time to move on. I think I've made so many trench coats that it would make Dick Tracy jealous. So, what's the next thing should I become obsessed with? Overalls. Keep in mind, I've made 3, maybe 4 Hammer Pants videos because I'm obsessed with MC Hammer. I've made, I don't know. I legally can't do my parachute idea. At least in the state of California, I wanted to make my own parachute and jump out of a plane, but I can't find anyone besides Airstrip in Tijuana that'll do it. Excuse me. I have a wide array of materials for my duster. I haven't decided which one I'm going to use. I have like this, well, let me grab them. I have 2 ideas I'm going to use. You've got enough trench coats to supply Colombo. That's exactly what I'm talking. Thank you, Kilroy. You get it. Thank you. Oh, I forgot I had this. You know, I legitimately forgot I had this. This I wanted to use for lining, but I just like the galaxy print. This is my peacock material. I've had this forever because I've been waffling back and forth of what I was really going to do with it. Oh, I forgot. I still have a ton of stuff to make hats. Ooh, that's right. This I haven't decided. I'm gonna make a trench out of this, like Kilroy suggested last time. So I'll probably make it out of this. But I wanted to make this is a harder material. All of this is Hobby Lobby, nice and soft. This is like
The nice and soft, not the nice and uncomfortable. The
the
uncomfortable and prickly.
angry and tough.
Right, this is angry and itchy.
Thank you, Ziggy. Thank you. I just haven't decided yet. I have too many. My problem is I have ADD sewing, so I'll like start something. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do something else, and I start another project.
Well, sometimes you need to let your hem hang, and you do need 24 hours. Just like sometimes sewing, like you batch if you're me, you only try to press as little as possible, and you batch it. Ooh, Ziggy wants a hat tutorial. All right, because she hasn't seen your full collection of Blossom 1980s Blossom 90s
I went insane
You
with
went in
hats.
hard. You were like in for a penny, in for a pound with fisherman's caps.
I
You
still
know,
have all the material too because I've been cleaning this room and I shamed myself when I found all this felt. I'm like, you bought this when you started making hats, right? I guilt myself. I was raised Catholic.
right, but wouldn't it be funny if you made a fisherman's hat with a crap ton of D or O rings so that and little belay clips so you could clip your keys to the brim of your hat like they had the old fishing lures. So you don't need it around your waist. You're like, this is my key hat. It weighs 40 pounds, but this is how I keep my neck strong.
I do have hog rings. I thought
Right.
they were I thought they were really cruel, so I took them off the ranch because I'm not even like PETA, but I just thought it was really mean, so I took all the hog rings. I have boxes of hog rings in this
No,
room.
you. I think that would be a really funny, irreverent. This is my key hat. Oh, that's priceless. Oh, Ziggy, sometimes you have to let your hem hang. It's true. We talked about yes. It's it's a truth. It's a lesson. Oh, I know. Allie is reinforcing it. The drape on the first hang can show the fabric just doesn't want to work with the pattern. I caught you, Allie. Right, circle skirts, things cut on the bias. There's a lot of stuff you cut it out. You sew as much as you can, and then it needs a break for at least 24 hours. Sometimes you forget about it, and it's like 6 months later, and you're like, oh, maybe I should finally level the hem on this garment because
These are hog rings,
hot
and
hog rings.
we still do these mean things to pigs, and they live hard enough lives.
They do, except for the fancy ones.
Well, we
Well, they live hard
we
lives too because they end up in somebody's stomach. So
I'm not a show pig kind of guy. We raise them for people like take them and we name
yeah,
we teach the children not to name them. Let's just put it that way.
right. Or if you are, it is pork
Breakfast, lunch, and
pie, ham,
yeah, exactly.
belly bacon, bacon. Of course, you're singing Jesus Christ Superstar. 2 weeks, we'll work on our Technicolor dream coat of fantasticness because next week we're bringing out old machines that nobody's seen on stream because I
I
have enough electrical outlets if I don't burn up my house.
I still remember seeing that at the Crystal Cathedral and being like, "This is awesome."
No, the funniest is that Human knows all the lyrics to. Oh, what's. I'm gonna forget the name of the show where you go to the midnight screening and you're a virgin until you're not with the. Oh, damn it. Knows all the words but has never actually seen the show.
Oh, that's funny.
I,
Oh,
I know I keep just enough. Like, everybody knows what I'm talking about. And they're like, Phoenix, don't you know that it is from the transvestites from Transsexualvania? Here's where your food comes from, kids. We're doing this so you won't become a delusional vegan later.
it's
That's right.
true. I'll tell you, when I was a kid,
Or
my dad took me to the Farmer John plant where they make hot dogs, and I'm not a vegetarian. I've seen it. Like I actually worked at a meat packing plant, and I'm still not a vegetarian.
yes, Kilroy and Ziggy for the wins. Rocky Horror. Yes, yes. Human knows all the words but has never seen it.
Oh, in Portland, they used to show it all the time. You could tell because you'd see everybody in fishnets walking down the street. You're like, okay, I know what they're showing tonight. Oh, I miss that place sometimes, but the Portland I lived in doesn't exist anymore.
No, it does not. Nor does the Ash. Oh my god, I saw this quick little snippet that the big little hotel used to be the highest, the tallest building between San Francisco and Seattle was in town, and now there's ghosts there. I was like, oh, cute. We had brunch there. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm a sweet transvestite from Transylvania. Ziggy, oh my gosh, that is so fun. I went so many times to the midnight showing in my little town when I was a teenager. I know that I did not do. I've actually seen the show, but Human just listened. Their older siblings had the records, so they learned it from the record and never saw the show.
Now I have that Time Warp song stuck in my head.
Back in the yeah. We are in a time warp because who's sewing crappy polyester Pluderhosen? Like, what time warp am I in? Like, 15th century meets techno grunge. Oh, people lined up at the movie theater with fishnets and water pistols. Oh my god. I know. Does Canada allow water pistols anymore? Or are they like, no, no, you're upsetting us? Oh, just love to love. I was after the ride. Killer, the first time I made sausage and bologna, I was 11, 12. I still eat both. I think watching them get me this gross need to get out more. Right. And, oh, this whole thing about these weird lab grown meats that they don't need to label, that terrifies me. I'm like, where do I buy meat from if they're not labeling lab grown meat? Like,
It's
I'm not
funny you would
okay
say
with
that.
this. I don't want to be a part of this science experiment that I did not consent to, because that's what it is.
It's
I
funny
don't
you'd say that.
consent.
I think those the first off, they taste the as someone who used to have to prepare it for my son, he went through a phase. They're gross. It smells like because there's so much iron supplements in it. I'm gonna say it. It smells like blood because there's so many iron supplements in it. So it instantly grosses me out. I never liked those.
Oh, put your hands on your hips and check your knees. Right. Allie, I have not seen a water pistol in ages, but then kids don't play outside anymore. That is also true. And I wonder about you folks up north, because I really care about you. Maids is weird. Oh, Ziggy dressed up like Magenta one time.
Awesome.
And can you believe that they have to make them label that car? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lab grown meat will never take off. Too expensive. Bigger environmental impact. Oh, right. Soylent Greens is not people. And right, it has the freaking Soylent whatever protein powder. That's so gross. I'm like, I think I have a picture of it. I was made a joke. I was like, is made of people. Like, oh God, it's so, oh God.
I would have screamed that if I had seen that. I would have been like, oh, are you crazy? It's made of people.
I know. I was in the line because that's when the other pharmacy closed, and you had to literally stand queue in line for 45 minutes just to get into the check-in counter at the pharmacy. And if there was a problem, you went back to the queue, and it was another 45 minutes. How many years is it going to take me to use up this spool of fabric?
Okay, I did hand sewing. Where are my spools? It took me a couple years for. Oh, here.
Cuck Fanada. Oh,
I went through a black spool of one of these just hand sewing. It took me about 3 or 4 years
okay.
with
So,
just hand sewing. But that's just hand sewing with the spool this exact size.
okay. I think mine's bigger, so I'm going to have to be stitching a lot.
But these were I'd never put these in a machine. This one I'm going to.
Life imitating art. It is coming through. Yes. Oh, killer in my local Walmart. They had to reduce the price of Soylent to a quarter of the original price to get it to move. Nobody was interested. Right? Because most protein powders taste like they are gritty. They don't dissolve nicely. They don't bake nicely. They don't taste nicely.
Ew.
It's so stupid expensive. And then you throw on this name of folks who are old enough to remember the movie Silent Green, because there's generations I understand who, bless their hearts, have not seen that movie and don't understand the reference of, like, yeah, you're being played fools.
I gotta look that up. But there are people are just out of touch too. Like in the UK, they had this one saying, the government had a saying of like, give everyone a handy, or it was something like that. And people were like, are you serious?
Who's
Who the hell, how many people did that go through? Like, did you not realize what you're saying? And are you blink if you're not okay?
No, it's like cannot, and their acronym of MAIDs for the assisted euthanasia. Like who okayed that? Like it's so bad and so wrong. Like who okayed on the maids coming to clean up? It's just bad.
Let's see if this produces anything. British sayings that are out of touch or British slogans. Why did you do that, phone?
I didn't do it. I'm not Alexa.
No, the iPhone has this weird thing where it will do things periodically on its own, where it'll dim your phone if you have too much stuff going. You have to literally tell it like, don't do that.
Yeah, you're I don't know about your eye business.
And they it literally tells you like, oh, you're listening with your headphones at a what does it
Right,
say?
don't tell me I'm too loud. Just shut
Yeah.
up and let me listen.
If I want to blow my eardrums, Apple, you just have to sit there
That's
and
my
participate.
choice. Nobody asked your opinion. Is this shot better of the sewing machine and me? I know most of them are trying to show Brunhild.
All I'm saying is my boombox never told me I'm getting fat, and my iPhone tells me that I am.
Oh, Kilray. Well, 3/4 of a gallon of water later, and I feel a lot less snappy and irritable. Turns out you need to drink water to stay cool. That is true, which is why
I'm doing it right here. There's no soda in this today.
But I've been drinking at least 2 of these 30-ounce things a day, so that's almost a half a gallon, and I'm a short human, so you tallies need to drink more, but I'm a fatty, so I need to drink probably as much. Allie says they convinced a fellow I know at an old folks' home to take, oh no! He didn't tell
No.
anyone because they would talk him out of it. He was struggling with cancer again and was tired of it. Damn. That's so loaded. And that's the part that feels super icky too, is that they're saying that folks shouldn't talk and tell with their family about it. Like, I know not everyone's on good terms, but I don't know. That was just last week. Oh God. Oh. How am I gonna have happy stitches after that for the end of the show? Yes, hydration is important in the heat. And not medical advice, electrolytes, sodium, potassium, especially if you have low blood pressure. But I know the horrible stories about me just make me mad. At least, let's see here. That's why Android is better. I can turn up extremely loud and it won't tell me to turn it down. I know I'm an Android too. Yeah, that is awful. I concur, Keller, right? All right, on a irreverent, uplifting moment, I take my hematite beads and put them next to Brunhild so I can magnetically hook on my favorite presser feet so I don't have to ruin the box by opening them all the time. Now they're just slightly magnetized. I shouldn't have fake snorted. That was kind of gross. But now it's shaky. Oh, we're almost at the end. Then I can change to the gathering fun.
Oh, I had to feed my cat.
Good! Odin was around.
I looked at what time it was. I was like, oh, Odin's going to be mad.
Right.
But imagine, like, Odin is black on black. She has green eyes, everything. Her paws are black. She's literally a
Her
black.
paws might not. Her kitty beans might not actually be black. My baby Dodgeball had black paws because he ran the streets, and then once he became a sheltered house cat, he was like, "Hey, I've got like normal bean color. Like beans are black because
Odin's a gangster. She's a true pirate.
right. Let's see here, Ziggy. Oh, all of you wonderful people. I have an early. Oh, go to sleep, Ziggy. Have
How about
fun. Work hard. You are awesomely amazing and artful, and you are sweet. Magnetoid,
absolutely.
it would be easier to put on the foot sweet. I was like, hopefully I'm not managing craziness. I'm just like, because I took out the ones from the paper box and not my puzzle box and set them in one of my sweet humans glass dishes because I didn't want to keep handling the box. I was like, I don't want them in a plastic baggie. So I'm like, there's the box, there's my favorite presser feet. I still have my ones in my puzzle box because I just don't want to. I want to use them but not ruin them more. Like, what's the fine balance? Because I I put my feet through some work.
I agree, Alibaba. It would make I have giant fingers, so it would improve my life if they had magnetic attachments. I can't believe I pulled out my hog rings. They're so. I got to use them for something.
The thing is, where it's pricey.
Right, you just gotta find the right project where you're like, who needs over the top piping and striping and gathering and it kind of makes you think like of all the folks like modern days like maybe somebody would have serged these edges and I'm like no I'm going to use the narrow rolled hem foot because just cuz and gathering foot versus ruffle foot because with this application it just was easier and makes more sense like
You know I'm anti-searcher. Searchers hate me. So you
I
know
know
I'm
my
right there with you.
3 weeks we'll take out my surgery and see. I'm sure she still runs, but the tension. I don't think I've ever figured out the tension on her. Like we just don't understand each other.
Alibaba, you're laughing, but that's not a bad idea.
What is this about it? I have some sets in a plastic baggie. Okay, right, because you want to keep the box next to the plastic baggie, but if you want to use the parts, I don't want to keep handling the paper box that's going to break at some point because I touch my shit. Kilroy, I'm waiting for you to bring that up so I can bring that up again.
A hog ring male shirt. The only thing is, I'm allergic to everything, and so like my chainmail, it's made of real something because my skin doesn't break out. So I can't like the hog ring is made of copper, and my skin will break out. I can't wear copper.
You should just use it as a hat key ring. I think that would make me laugh. I
I
like
love my chainmail. Alibaba totally reminded me. I love my stinking chainmail. But like I say, kids, chainmail is personal because it absorbs your stink.
that's right. Andy needs something like I'm also bougie. Don't give me nickel coated or nickel plated whatever. It needs to be sterling silver or at least 18 karat gold because
Oh yeah,
don't
oh
play
yeah.
with cheap metal around here. Oh,
I have
this
to have some real stuff because I'll break out. I have really sensitive skin. At least that's my excuse for wearing real jewelry.
no, mine really is like I really do have
No, I do
allergic
too.
reactions. Oh, what did I just break? No, thread. Okay,
Bro,
that's.
why you look like you just woke up?
Hey, human.
Were you napping or what? You had a full
Yeah,
day.
because I couldn't get on my Oculus, so I had to like sleep. Nope, I
Yeah.
shouldn't.
You had a full day, man. You went
Paraphrase
to
Nancy
church.
Pelosi.
You found Jesus. You had a full day.
I think this whole thing was.
No, he's lived that with me.
Did we spin it?
Yeah.
I do like your idea, Alibaba, though, of a hog ring mail shirt. I have enough. But man, one of those edges catch you, you would not want to wear it because they're sharp. Sharp hog rings literally are made to pierce
He
a
is.
pig. Are made to pierce a pig's nose. And fun fact, there's no difference between a pig's skin and ours.
Nope, that cartilage in the nose, the septum piercing, hurts just as much if you're a pig or a human. Not that I have my septum pierced, because I just don't.
It's really funny. That's the of all the things that I've gone to school and gotten qualified for, I'm a qualified piercer. But I haven't pierced anyone in probably like 19 years.
Yeah, you would not be my first choice for people to pierce me right now.
No, my niece, when she found out, she's like, "Oh," but I told her don't talk. I put one through her top lip. She still has a scar to this very day. And so that was my last piercing job, and I gave her all my stuff too. She pierces her friends still. And when I say my niece, like I'm in my 40s, she's in her 30s. I didn't give needles to a teenager. I gave it to someone
Right?
else. Literally, like I just come from an old family.
Right, one of those like, my cousin is as old as my youngest brother. My cousin's older than I'm older than my nephew who's older than my brother.
That's my family. My oldest brother, his youngest daughter is a year younger than me. I find she's so respectful though. It's weird when she calls me Uncle William. She's so respectful though. She's the only one. No, my other two nieces, like they call me Uncle William, but let's just say if I was gonna get into a fight, I'd bring them both with me, and they're taller than I am. Both of them are taller than I am. They're tough women. I think I'm gonna make another pair of shorts because let's be real, my board shorts are old. And like the neon green, I'm gonna stand up. I'm not gonna show off my nalgas too much, but like, oh my god, I do have a hook.
Oh my god, let's bring all that 80s, early 90s neon colors are so in. They're like, bring it back.
I've had these
I'm here for
forever,
it.
and they're in really good condition because I wash everything well. And fun fact, kids, if you go to any water park in Southern California, you can't have anything that has zippers or hooks on the outside of the pockets. Because when you go through the tubes, you're gonna get hooked on the connectors of the tubes. So you have to wear like traditional board shorts.
Okay, so that also means humans who are wearing bikinis with metal O-rings and hook connectors, you should probably not do that either.
They wouldn't let you on. They won't even let you on the in line.
Oh, funny.
They have people like because it's in California people sue for everything, so it's a liability.
Right, but then how many people are like, but they didn't let me on in my cute little bikini?
I'm gonna tell you, it's this generation. The older generation, we knew we could read.
Oh, there's lots of new swim shorts.
You should make Bermuda shorts. I like that idea, and I was thinking about making a 1920s swimsuit, like the full, like wrestler style. I don't know what you call it.
Yes, the singlet. It's like a singlet. I think.
Yes.
Yes. No. Yes. Okay. You want to do the masculine version, and I'll do the ladies
I'm
version,
down.
and we'll debut our old-fashioned swimsuit costumes.
I'm down because I made a man onesie. I might bring it out tomorrow night. I'm gonna need to write that down. No one noticed when I made my denim onesie because that's back when no one watched my channel. But I
Can we
made
have a
a.
due date of Memorial Day, just in case?
I like it too because I that's a good idea. I do have like some deep dark browns in here too. I want to make it like authentic, like old, because they worked with a lot of like browns and grays back then.
And they were not stretch materials, they were wovens. Those
Yep.
bathing suits were wovens. They didn't have no stretch.
Well, I should make a strongman outfit. I have the like 1920s wrestler body with the belly.
Oh, what's going on here?
I'm kidding. I'm halfway there.
I'm like no way there right now. I'm not making tape, and I'm a huge McMuffin. I do not like this body, but
I was walking around with my shirt off today in my backyard, and I was like, you know what? I'm okay with myself. I
I'm
thought it was
not.
way worse
I'm
than
glad
what it
you are.
because on the side of the house, all the windows are my height, so it completely reflects my image.
Oh, that's where that old-timey strongman outfit came from. Yes. William, it was really nothing. The Smith.
I fucking miss the Smiths. Like every time you like name a band, I write it down because I was like, oh yeah, I used to listen to them.
No, but if you have not listened to Teenager of the Year by Frank Black, I think last week I said Black Francis, but it's Frank Black. I have literally not listened to an LP form music more than once in a number of days in a very long time, and I really like that album. I really wish I was listening to it right now.
For some reason, I have Nada Serve stuck in my head. I'm head of the class. I'm pop you. I'm showing my age right now.
That one's good too. Oh, but Headache. Oh, and I'm on.
Nada Surf Popular. It's a
That
great
is
song.
so good. That
I
is a good one.
That was like my high school experience, and that and
Yes.
Weezer. If you want to pull my sweater.
Oh my god! I was literally just talking about that song today. Loki was like doing something. I was like, if you want to destroy my sweater,
Pull this
oh,
thread and walk
walk
away.
away. Walk away. Oh,
those were those were my that like those are my sacred albums. Those are like I just show my age.
yes. Oh, Morrissey. Oh, we're not going to talk about Morrissey. Let's enjoy. Morrissey's going to be up with J.K. Rowling. We're going to enjoy the artist and forget whatever bullshit they have. Ellie says there is a French strongman here that lifts rocks. He cheers. He clears farm fields and gets paid for it. While that guy lifts banned from the strongman competitions. Oh no, because you guys have got Mitch Hooper, who was that tiny little marathon runner who just won World's Strongest. Was it Worlds in Europe? Oh damn it!
I
Mitch
love
Hooper's
watching
pretty
them
cool,
because
right?
I
We talked about
know. Oh,
yep,
sorry.
Johnny. Oh no, I was just gonna say Johnny Rotten was like, yeah, we were punk until punk turned like, big government, we love you. We're gonna bow down to the big government that we serve. And it's
NoFX is still going, and they've made an anti-president album for every president, and they're my age. They're still going. NoFX still is going. Do you know what's really funny? I love those strongman competitions.
and Port is Maxime Boudreau competing again because he had that horrible knee injury. Something he took him out of comp earlier in the year, but I know he's French Quebecer Maxime Boudreau.
Do you know what they don't have on TV as much? Because yes, I still watch television. I know I'm a dinosaur. Is the lumberjack competitions up in Seattle?
Oh, we just had it in. That just happened. I feel like.
I guess I need to flip around the TV more. I'm stuck on the oldie channels.
Right.
But I love watching. I actually went to the Pendleton Roundup, and it was more of a rodeo, but like that northern lumberjack stuff is real.
Oh, that is true. In strongman, there are in the amateur leagues weight there are weight divisions. So I think we're at 3:30. Okay, don't have too many words left, but I know for the folks who have primary gynecomastia and chesticles, there's like a 64 and a 70 and stuff. I don't know about the natural born pole wielders.
I'm stealing that. That's gonna be my next T-shirt. Natural born pole wielder.
I was like, how do I'm
That's
just
a
gonna make
T-shirt.
a joke and be irreverent. Like everything
Holy
else
cow.
is stupid, so I'm like, how can I make a joke and say a statement and
When I
not
was
get
in
canceled?
when I
We're
was in
now
8th
the
grade,
next T-shirt.
I had a teacher that was from Scotland, and he would do those the saber tossing or whatever.
Yeah.
And he kept on saying log throwing, and he didn't understand why a bunch of kids in the early 90s were laughing when every
Oh,
time he
because
said
they
the
meant
word
like
log.
log throwing and not like log
No,
throwing,
he was saying
or
I'm
they
log.
meant log throwing.
Yeah, like
And
his
he
log.
didn't realize it was like this and not like this.
Oh man, it
It
just
was
was
the
not
big
good.
arms and not the little hands.
We were gross. We were
I
gross.
know, Maxime had that horrible injury. It wouldn't surprise me, but his lady friend has been competing, so that's good. Like, she's showing up for the Boudreaux household, but I don't think she's a Boudreaux. Whatever his human is, she's been killing it, crushing it, lifting it, them stones.
Do you know the funny thing is, out of all the apps that I have, ESPN is the most annoying, but it's kind of got me back into sports because it's constantly telling me when a game's on. They do that on purpose to sell their crud. But it works.
Yeah, last time I checked, unfortunately, circus arts are not a sport unless you're like in rhythmic gymnastics, which is borderline circus art, but not highly popularized except for weirdos who border on weirdos. Stop laughing at me.
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at myself. I'm surprised I made it this long because it's so effing hot in here. I'm surprised I lasted this long, but I can't smoke in my closet. What's up, skits? You always show up at the end. I'm kidding.
I know, literally, we're 3 hours and almost 40 minutes. We've got like 10. We're in the last minutes.
We're in
of
the delirious zone.
Oh, let's see here. Killery, that sounds like something Beavis and Butthead would laugh at. I did not sync up the chat to the comment, but I'm sure it was super good because
I told you that like Paramount Plus had Beavis and Butthead, and they connected the old Beavis and Butthead until the new one, and the movie made me cry. The end of the movie, I was like, I need to go see a psychiatrist because I just cried at the Beavis and Butthead movie. There's a deeper issue here, but it was really funny and sad in the same.
Ooh, I think we're gonna get to the gathering foot tonight because I lay in the rolled hems, then I gather each strip, and then put in the French seams, then lay it on the shorts, and then cut it, and then stitch it down. So this is a multi-step process because beauty takes time.
I think, the funny thing is last week I Googled like how to make a headdress and I got so caught up in it that I forgot how to do it because there's so many different designs and it depends on what country you're from and
What culture are you gonna appropriate tonight? Because we're Americans and people. This is the melting pot. So we have our traditional head wrappings and ways of doing stuff. But then somebody's like, "Oh, we do it this way," and we're like, "Oh, that's cute." I cover my head.
that's kind of
Can
hot
I use
actually.
that same head covering because I already do this thing? Like, we're America here.
You know what's really funny? I kind of like this. I'm gonna start rocking.
This
Because
is
I
like the
typed
box
in
there. You're in your box. You're gotta get fit phase. So this is the
2 weeks
boxer
ago,
ringside look.
my Muhammad Ali era.
Yes, you just
Two
need
weeks ago, I typed in like
the
how to make
pistons.
a Yasser era fat headband, and I sat there for 3 hours. Like I got lost, like Gilligan on a 3 hour tour, because I didn't know there were so many different styles.
Can you guess what happened?
You ran out.
What's our guesses for what I need to fix? Why am I crying now on stream?
Headdress is a rabbit hole. Exactly. See, Alibaba knows. I do need to put a wet towel around mine. It's freaking a mess in here. But it's weirdly windy, so the temperature drops fast. Like
It's like in cold. It's like you're like shivering. You need blankets, but you're sweating your tatas off.
it's classic desert weather. During the day it's like 100 something, and at night it's 50 something.
Yes, that I concur because I also live in desert weather. And my first suspicion of my bobbin, I was going to say my bladder was empty, but that's not the stream. Bobbin was not empty. We just got caught up on something. So, are we threaded still?
Okay, I say this all the time because I'm an American. Everything I do is culture appropriation though. Every meal I eat, every like
Hold on a second, Allie. You were so correct. My first suspicion, dude. I check your bobbin. I did.
always.
And I still got thread. That's okay. I'm learning from the experts. First thing, always check your bobbin. Bobbin thread. I don't know what happened, but we'll fix this bobbin.
I'm gonna have to like get a Camelback and put a soda in there. Would that ruin one of those things?
Yeah, I don't think so, but it would be cute, more funny if you just hacked a hat to have the two cans and the straws coming into your face. Would be more funny and irreverent, in my opinion.
What happened to my
That
heart?
because that's lame. I mean,
I had a helmet, a football helmet like that, and a hard hat. Where did they? It's probably in my storage unit because I had to grow up, so I
yeah,
got rid of all my beer stuff.
you just need to grow different. You don't grow up; you just grow different.
My predecessor used to always say, "You don't have to. You have to grow up, but you don't have to grow old." And there's a difference. Those Camelbacks are indestructible. Good to know, Gilroy.
We do have one too. They have lasted a good long time. All right, now that I took my bobbin apart, it's not working. Oh, because we're at the end.
And
We're
it's also this chair too, though. This chair is so effing comfortable. That's why I brought my mic stand back, because this thing just makes me want to sleep sitting in this chair. I had to bring the Golden Girls era back. You know, because everyone's here. Full disclosure, I paid $100 for a chair that broke, and I felt like a goober. I felt like
fall on your fanny in the chair. Did it just like what was the story of the chair?
I'm sitting here and three something in the morning. I lean on my chair, and one of the welds broke.
What?
Well, it wasn't even one solid piece. It was just a welded frame, and I should have got the gamer chair, but the gamer chair broke on me. But the gamer chair lasted years. I bought the cheap office chair, and it lasted me a couple months.
Yeah, our whole bobbin mechanism decided to spit itself out. So
I'm
the
voting
bobbin
rat's
worked,
nest.
but the mechanism was like, yeah, we need to be dusted and lubed. You should shut your streams soon because you need to love us.
So, moral of today's story is: do not buy a cheap office chair from Staples.
And be careful when you get tempted by fancy old fashioned sewing machines that might not be priced what somebody's offering them for, even though you're like, but I really, really want it. But it's got all my names and nomenclatures and letters. Sometimes you just need to walk away, kids. What are we shilling for tomorrow? What did I hold on?
Tomorrow.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, we talked. Oh, yes, cultural appropriation is Americanism. Yeah, that is. Those camelbacks are indestructible. Did it make a rat's nest on the underside? Well, let me see. Oh, we're plugged in. Let me unscrew this and let's look in Brunhild's undersides. Actually, this is probably not the undersides I need to be looking in, but we're just gonna open her up from the bottom here. I do. There is, yes, I do have some rat snarl. Where's my?
Kilroy, I think my torch would cut right through it. That's how cheap the metal is. I think my torch would cut right through it. Because I thought about that, and it wasn't even worth the gas because the metal is so cheap.
Yeah, like, that's really great, because I think the last time my bobbin mechanism decided to like spontaneously vomit its pieces from the bot,
I like
it just
that.
like disgorged its pieces. I think there was, and it wasn't even the biggest yarn snarl, and I've been brushing her out, but yes. All right, well, I can't sew until I put my pieces back together, so we should probably call it a show.
Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock West Coast time, it'll be the same old sewing mayhem. I have a few things planned. I always come with pictures. Be there or be square.
And thank you all who've hung out at the circus. All minotaurs and mermaids are welcome at all points of the day as long as we're not mean. And we are here on Sundays for the Stitch and Bitch, and on most socials, all of the got some links and chatty things in the descriptions, because we're attempting to like be internet personalities, because I'm not a YouTuber. I'm kind of want to just be a rumbler, but let's get ready to rumble is not going off. All right, don't wait till tomorrow to be fabulous today, and don't laugh at others unless if you have laughed at yourself. All right, I'm getting out of here.
Rock out, clock out.
Bye.